Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it.
Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Undisputed, live from Los Angeles. I'm Holly Saunders here. You know these two, Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe.
Well, you know, one of us for sure.
Yeah. You got jokes early this morning.
Yeah. They know Holly, right?
Well.
Right.
They coming.
Yeah. You know what? Speaking of days, this is really a good day.
Why?
Yeah, my Cowboys are riding high, and Kevin Durant put LeBron right back in his place where he belongs. Can't wait to talk about that. I can't wait for all these topics. I feel sorry for you.
You've been living your best life for the last 5 weeks.
I have.
But it's going to come to an end on Sunday.
No, it's just getting started.
We got 2 cases on that.
Yeah,
Two
cases.
Oh,
2 cases.
do we agree? Oh,
we're going to agree. We're going to agree.
I got a vault full of Diet Mountain Dew. A whole vault.
You know what? Let me pay off early.
Yeah. Pay off?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yep.
Right now?
No.
I thought you were going to wheel out a whole cart of Diet Mountain Dew.
If the Cowboys win on Sunday,
Yeah?
I'm going to owe you 17 cases. I'll pay off for 10.
What? Nobody does that.
Yes.
You don't get a discount.
Yes.
Huh?
They have already paid off. There are some places that have already paid off that Alabama would win the national championship, so they're paying that thing off early. So I'm going to do that.
Really?
Yep.
Do you know what a loan shark would do to you?
Guys, let's get into it with the Cowboys. Perfect timing. Dak Prescott and Andrew Luck will both be heavily featured Sunday when Dallas heads to Indianapolis right here on Fox. Don't miss that. The Cowboys are the hottest team in the NFL right now, as Skip said, with 5 straight wins. And Dak has 22 total touchdowns this season. Now, Andrew Luck's Colts have won 6 of their last 7. Also impressive. He's second in the league with 34 touchdown passes. Now, Shannon,
Yes.
which quarterback would you rather have if you had your druthers here? Would you have Luck or Dak?
I know, Skip, I know we're on live television, so I don't even need to ask, are there cameras around?
Yeah.
But am I being punked?
No.
Am I on candy
There's
camera?
no Ashton Kutcher. No, there's none.
Skip, stop playing. You know good and well Andrew Luck is 100 times better than Dak Prescott.
May I respond?
No, you cannot respond because it's not your turn. Holly said Shannon.
Yeah.
Which would you rather have? She didn't say Skip. You're going to
She picked the unknown guy first.
Yeah. Okay.
Giving him spotlight
Yeah.
for a minute.
Luck has better arm talent.
Yeah.
He's more accurate. His upside is much, much higher. There's a reason why Andrew Luck was the #1 overall pick. There's a reason why he's the highest rated player since John Elway. Can you imagine the pressure? And he's lived up to it. His rookie year takes a team to the playoffs. His second year gets to the divisional. His third year gets all the way to the AFC Championship till he runs into that juggernaut, which is the New England Patriots, who we know what happened. They went on to win the Super Bowl. Skip, we need to stop with this, really. Andrew Luck, 34 touchdowns. Dak Prescott, 17. Last I checked, 34 is more than 17.
What are their records right now? Help me out.
What are the records? What are their records?
One's 8-5. I
8
don't
and
know.
5. And
What's that Luck guy's record?
What's his record?
Like
Can't be
7-6. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
You make it seem like
Didn't mean
that's
to
bad.
interrupt you. Just wanted to get
Yes,
the
you-
right number out there.
This is what we know. If Andrew Luck
Yeah.
was in Dallas, the Dallas Cowboys would be the New England Patriots. They would be favored every year to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. Because this is what we know. Dak Prescott last year, no Zeke Elliott, he struggled. Well, if he'd have had Zeke, no Tyron Smith, he struggled. When has Andrew Luck ever had a Zeke Elliott? When has he ever had a #1 offensive lineman? Just got Quentin Nelson.
He did.
Now the offensive line is starting to play a lot better. But Dak Prescott is always, with the exception of this year, Travis Frederick has been out. Zach Martin, #1 draft
Boy,
pick.
mixed and matched all year. It's been a
Andrew
revolving door.
Andrew Luck says, here, hold my hand cup. Because that's all I've had my whole career. That's why I missed a year and a half. Because the line has been mixed and matched. Is it mixed and matched or mismatched? But that's not here nor there. Skip. Andrew Luck has double the touchdown, but only 1 more interception. So in other words, he's giving you double the production of Dak Prescott with only 1 more turnover. I'll take that. And let's see.
Only 1 more turnover, but wait a second. All I ever hear is Dak turns the ball over too much. Interesting. Go ahead.
I mean, with 17 touchdowns, he should have no turnovers because he's not taking a whole lot of risk. Anyway, again, one guy was the #1 draft pick.
Yep.
Expectations.
Yep.
The other guy was what, a fourth-round draft pick?
Yep.
One guy replaced Peyton Manning, an all-time great. The other guy replaced Tony Romo. One guy replaced the guy who has a hospital, the entire floor named after him. The other guy replaced the guy that has a meal at Tony Romo's, named after him. So you tell me who has the high degree of difficulty, and you tell me who's done a better job, Skip Bayless.
By the way, Tony Romo was probably at certain points the most popular quarterback in Dallas Cowboy history. History.
But let me ask you a question.
That's what you were replacing. And I'm not saying he ever lived up to it, but he was the man in Dallas.
Has he ever been more popular and highly thought of than Peyton Manning, who has 5 MVPs?
Yep.
Who has 4 Super Bowl appearances with 4 different head coaches.
Is it my turn?
Tony Romo made it to the NFC Championship game how many times?
Well, I'm just saying popularity. That's
No. I want the other piece. Production. You can have that popularity.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Thank you. Here we go. You know what? I'm glad you said everything you just said because you are making my case I'm about to make. Every time Andrew Luck comes up on this show or the old show I used to do, the Andrew Luck myth starts to operate because everybody says, Dak Prescott, Andrew Luck? Well, it's obviously Andrew Luck. No, it's not obviously. And before he was drafted, all I heard was one expert after the other falling all over themselves to proclaim Andrew Luck better than John Elway. He's going to be better than John Elway. And all I could see that they had in common was they both went to Stanford. Now, you know John Elway as well as anybody. You caught a couple of passes from John Elway, didn't you?
Yes.
And I kept saying, are you serious? Andrew Luck is better than John. You can go look it up. I was on record as saying you were way overrating Andrew Luck before he was drafted. I watched him a whole lot in all the big games against USC, and he was high turnovers. He was forcing the ball all over the lot. He had no great feel for playing the position that I would see in a quarterback I would project as possibly all-time great. And I went way out to the end of the limb, and I said, there's this kid at Baylor, who, by the way, won the Heisman Trophy, and I said that kid at Baylor, named Robert Griffin III, was going to be better, a little better than Andrew Luck. I didn't say he was going to be a bust. I just said RG3 would be a little better. And what happened their rookie years?
RG3 won the MVP,
Offensive Rookie of the Year, and he turned around the Redskins from possible last place team into the division winner, and he had the Seattle Seahawks down 14-0 in a playoff game before the worst thing in the world happened to him. Yep. He didn't just hurt his knee, he wrecked it. Sure. And he wrecked his career because he was never anything more than a shell of himself, and it hurt my eyes the other day to see him finish that game for the Ravens.
He threw a nice pass.
He threw a nice pass, but I couldn't even recognize his body. Looks so different. I don't even know who he is. But he can outshoot those white guys at the YMCA. But that's a whole other issue.
That was a shot.
It was, but again, that's what he came. He came to that for Robert Griffin. But I was right about that, and I'm going to be right about this one. Now you say, Dak or Andrew Luck, and I'm saying it's not obviously Andrew Luck. I'm going with Dak all day and all night because all I know is that Andrew Luck's career has been plagued by injuries and turnovers. Am I right about that? Horribly plagued by injuries and turnover because Andrew Luck immediately became an NFL turnover machine. And you would agree with that because you've said that on this show before. His rookie year, he finished second in overall turnovers to Mr. Butt Fumble, Mark Sanchez. And then in 2014, he finished second in overall NFL turnovers to a guy you have little to no respect for, Jay Cutler. I'm talking about Andrew Luck here. 2012 through 2016, Andrew Luck was third in the NFL in total turnovers to Eli and Phillip Rivers. Is that good? Help me out. Right. Is that not turnover machine? Was that not like slot machine? You just pull down the arm and the ball coughs out, right?
What's asked of him?
This is a young man who wants to run through that brick wall of that defense. He's going to hold the ball and hold it, trying to make the play, the big play.
Kind of like Dak doing right now.
Okay. There are some similarities, but Dak hasn't been nearly as bad as Andrew Luck has been regularly bad. And the point is that Andrew Luck then would take off and run and try to run through the linebacker or over the linebacker, the way Dak often does. And what happened to Andrew Luck? One injury after another. Need I start to list them? He's had concussions, he's had cracked ribs, he's had a lacerated kidney, abdominal pulls, and obviously one shoulder injury after another that led to finally a big, bad surgery. And it looked like for a while he wasn't going to be able to come back from that big, bad surgery. Am I right?
And then what has he done? After missing 16 months, how does he look?
Would you trust this? If we're going to pick one of these two quarterbacks right now, does Andrew Luck not suffer from some cauliflower body where he's got all kinds of body parts that have been banged to the point that he's one hit away from another big surgery? And I'm knocking on wood for him, and I'm knocking on wood for Dak, because all I know is that Dak Prescott has played 46 straight NFL games without missing a start. Yeah. Is that durability for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm knocking on wood real hard for both of them.
I mean, Phillip Rivers hasn't missed a start. Okay. Eli Manning went 213, 14 years without missing a start.
How many times do you see Phillip Rivers, or did you see Eli Manning take off and run with the football? How many times? Nope, doesn't happen. Well, you see Dak take off and run with it? I keep telling you, he is durable. It's like God's gift. I'm knocking on wood again. Dak is durable, much more so than Andrew Luck. I don't trust Andrew Luck's health going forward. So, are you sure his shoulder's going to hold up? Because that was really off. It's been very good this year, but I'm not sure it's going to be great going forward. So now, let's just look at their overall numbers the 3 years they played. Okay. Let's do my favorite stat, QBR. 0 to 100. Dak's career QBR so far, and that's a pretty big body of work to start 46 games in this league.
Absolutely.
He's 68 to a career 63 for Andrew Luck. So it's pretty close, but again, Dak's, I don't know how he did it. He's got the edge. Then if we look at just his rank, his 3-year rank each year among all NFL quarterbacks, Dak has average ranking 10th. Andrew Luck 12th. So again, he's a little better than Andrew Luck. And best season QBR. Dak finished 3rd one year, and Andrew Luck's best finish is 7th in QBR. So doesn't that tell you again and again the stat that the ultimate quarterback stat keeps telling you Dak's a little better, a little more effective, a little more productive again and again and again than this guy. And by the way, speaking of winning, so Andrew Luck for his career is 53-36, which is pretty good. I'm throwing in the playoffs too. Dak is 30-16, which is pretty good in and of itself. Yeah. But if we just look at the last 3 full seasons that Andrew Luck has played, guess what his record is? 17-18. You like that? 17-18? You like that? Because I don't like that. Just me?
You just said,
I'm not buying into that.
You said 53-36 versus what? 36-30?
30-16.
So which one happened?
I'm including Dak played in one playoff game and lost it. 30-15 in the regular season. That's pretty great.
It ain't as good. It's not better than what Andrew Luck got.
Yeah, your new homeboy.
Yeah. Hold on, wait a minute, Skip. Wait a minute. If you don't mind me asking, can you tell the people at home? Because I don't know. I just happened to look down on my nose, and it's like on here, like whoo. The QBR this year.
Yeah.
Well, that was good, huh? Yeah, I served that up. Ninth. Andrew Luck is 9th.
He is.
Dak Prescott is 23rd.
Andrew Luck has been the hottest quarterback over the last 7 games in the National Football League. After an 0-3 start, he's been the hottest. So I'm going to give you that right here, right now. But my guy just keeps winning football games.
Your guy, you know why your guy, and your guy's starting to creep up with them turnovers, but he's low risk, low reward. He threw 23 touchdowns his rookie year. He threw 22 last year. Guess what he's on pace to do this year? 21. Andrew Luck has already led the league in touchdown passes with a big old whopping 40. And guess what? He's on pace to throw more than that this year. Okay. If Patrick Mahomes was not having the outstanding year he's having, guess who would be in the real heat of the MVP discussion? Andrew Luck. Are we talking about Dak Prescott in the MVP discussion?
Not yet, but we got 3 games to go.
Stop it.
Well, you never know.
We know. Yeah. We know. Everybody know. They know.
So, and just a quick aesthetics point here. Everybody always tells me what a great thrower the football Andrew Luck is, and I always give you Aaron Rodgers. Beauty pageant, Aaron Rodgers is going to win every beauty pageant. But when I watch Andrew Luck throw the football,
throwing it.
It's not that pretty to me. It's a little mechanical. It's a little herky-jerky.
What about Dak? Is it pretty?
It works, man.
Is it pretty? But Andrew Luck's don't work.
Now let me close the case with the intangibles. Leadership. Do I want Andrew Luck being the face of my franchise? Yeah! Do I really? He's just too nerdy for me. And it's like genuine nerdy.
But you love Tom Brady.
Wait a second.
Wait.
Thank you for bringing that up. That was my next point. You opened my door for me. Tom Brady uses aw shucks gee whiz to deflect and dodge media questions.
Right.
Oh, gee, I don't know. We did the best we could. We just take it one game at a
they
time.
were-
He's playing you off. This guy is genuinely nerdy.
No,
He's
he's not.
genuinely
No, he's not.
aw shucks gee whiz.
Went to
It's
Stanford.
just the truth. Yeah.
Geniuses
Oh,
are like that.
Yeah, genius.
Geniuses are like that, Skip Bayless. Don't you know that?
You still cannot grasp what Dak Prescott means to the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh,
he is the man among men. He is the voice. He ought to have his own TV show called The Voice.
No, he shouldn't.
He is the voice of this franchise.
No.
This is the man they all listen to in the locker room. This is the man whose body language they look to on the football field.
So they don't do that
if
with-
he's got it, we got
If
it.
you don't mind me asking, so Andrew Luck is not
No,
that?
I never get that sense. I'll take these intangibles
Really,
any
Skip?
day. This is the guy. This is the alpha male of the Dallas Cowboys. I do not get that from Andrew Luck, and I never did at Stanford.
Yeah. Hold on, wait a minute.
I mean, Stanford, he lost his bowl game that year. I watched the whole thing. He lost to Brandon Whedon in Oklahoma State. Really?
Did Dak even
Really?
go to a bowl game?
Oh, I don't care.
Oh, so now we don't care about
He's
bowl,
a
but you brought it up
fourth-round
Andrew
pick.
Luck.
He's diamond in the rough.
Hold on.
Diamond
Let
in
me
the
ask you a
rough.
question.
No acclaim, and all of a sudden, is he not a keeper? Woo!
Can I ask you a question? Okay. Who do you think has the better recruiting class, Stanford or USC?
I don't know. Stanford does really well.
So they get a better recruiting class than USC.
They get the cream of the smart crop
Hey.
every year. They do. They get the cream. My Vanderbilt Commodores get like second helping of that, but they get the cream every year.
So you would
Did you not love Christian McCaffrey? Did you not think he was a little stud coming out? Did you not say he was top 5?
see. Here's what you do.
I'm not doing anything. I'm just telling you.
You take one, but you and I both know Stanford, on average, gets more 4 and 5-star recruits than Stanford, and Andrew Luck beat them. Tell me the game in which Dak Prescott beat Alabama.
Okay, tell me the game that Andrew Luck beat USC because I
He
watched
did.
them. But
With Jim Harbaugh, you remember?
The game at USC his last year, he threw a terrible interception that lost the game. And I said, I don't want that guy.
No, Andrew Luck came back and won the game. He threw it. Yes, he did. He threw that pick. Yeah, they won that one.
Maybe.
Because guess what?
I just remember it was a terrible throw.
Oh,
It
wait.
was a pick six.
It's pick six.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, hey, he ran to the sideline and gave him the thumbs up. I got this.
yeah.
I got this, Coach Shaw.
Guess
I got
what?
it.
Guess what? My guy in his 3 years has 13 game-winning drives.
How many Luck got?
Over his last 3 full seasons, he's got 7. 13-7,
No,
my guy. Since he's been in the league. Yeah. I'll take my guy in the clutch. I'll take my guy.
But see, I love how you did that, Skip, baby.
I didn't do anything. I just spat it right out in the middle of the
You
table.
told me how Andrew Luck threw a pick six.
Yep.
He won the game. But you don't want to talk about those 2 interceptions, horrible interceptions that Dak threw, but they won the game. What's the difference?
Fourth quarter and overtime, you know the numbers. These are extraordinary numbers. I haven't seen these kind of numbers in a long time in the National Football League, except from one Tom Brady up in Foxborough, Massachusetts, in a Super Bowl in the comeback against Atlanta. 17 of 20 for 243 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions in the fourth quarter and overtime against the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday.
I saw Andrew Luck do that in a playoff game.
Oh, really?
Down to the Kansas City Chiefs.
And guess what?
Down.
Guess who dug that hole for them? Andrew Luck.
Cadillac Sunday?
He had thrown
Cadillac Sunday?
He had thrown 3 big interceptions that
Cadillac
got them
Sunday?
in a hole that I didn't think there was
Cadillac
any way.
Sunday. Hold
But
on.
guess who the other quarterback was? A guy you have little to no respect for. Check down Alex. Am I right?
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that
If
up.
you don't mind me asking,
Yeah.
who put them in that hole on Sunday?
Yeah, he did.
And he was going against a guy, if you don't mind me saying, Skip, you have little to no respect for. You call it bounce it to him.
Mm-hmm.
You call him Wentz, W-I-N-C-E.
And I'm going to tell you one more time, I'm just so thankful that Nick Foles wasn't the starting quarterback on Sunday,
Yeah.
or I would have lost that game.
But this ain't about Nick Foles.
Okay, well, you brought him up.
Only one, you know what? Even Jerry Jones, as much as he loved Dak Prescott, he knows, Andrew Luck, Grizzly Adams. You remember that
You know
show,
what?
Skip, Grizzly Adams?
Do I?
Oh, the old
It's way
Billy-
before my time.
No, it was not before your time.
Yeah.
Stop saying that.
It's in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, because it's about a country guy. Mountain guy.
yeah.
That's Andrew Luck.
I never watched it one time, but I know what it is.
All I'm saying is, if Andrew Luck had the Cowboy roster,
Yeah.
guess what? They're the New England Patriots of the NFC because they're favored every year with Zeke. Give on Andrew Luck Zeke Elliott. who's already led the league, who's leading the league in rushing. Give him 3 first-round offensive linemen. 3 of the 5, you remember, Skip? They had 3 of the top 25 players, not linemen, 3 of the top 25 players. Get at the old Andrew Luck and watch him work.
You know what? I'm going to take my guy. Any day, any night, I will beat you.
Take them little piddly 17 touchdowns and let me know how that work out for you.
I'll take those piddly little 8 wins over Andrew Luck.
Piddly.
You know what? I'll take a case of Diet Mountain Dew straight up for Sunday.
go.
I'll just take it right now.
Hey,
I'll take Dak Prescott. Lowly little Dak Prescott, the 4th-round pick who did nothing at Mississippi State. I will take him for 1 full case of Diet Mountain Dew.
Did he ever beat Alabama?
No.
Because maybe if he'd beat Alabama, he could have moved up the draft board.
He did take Mississippi State all the way to the top, to the number 1 ranking, and it lasted for like 3 weeks.
No, it didn't. It lasted until they played who?
He had to go to Tuscaloosa.
Hold on. What do you mean? Yeah. What difference does that make? Johnny Manziel beat him.
He had no firepower.
Johnny Manziel beat him in Tuscaloosa.
It wasn't his fault.
Hold on. Cam Newton beat him.
Yeah.
Cam Newton beat him.
Yeah.
After he spotted him. Cam Newton spotted him, 14, 17 points, and walked him down in Tuscaloosa.
They took Dak seriously because they were afraid of Dak.
Man, you need to stop playing Skip Bayless. You ought to stop playing Skip Bayless.
I'm not playing.
Oh, Andrew Luck. Took down USC twice. Beat him so bad, Pete Carroll walked to the middle of the field and asked John Harbaugh, what's your deal? What's your deal? You remember that, Skip Bayless?
How many of Dak's teammates are playing in the National Football League from Mississippi State?
How many of Andrew Luck? How many of Andrew Luck?
I'm sure there are a bunch of them. Every time I look up, there's another Stanford guy.
That don't mean they played with him?
I don't know. We could check on that.
Yeah.
I'll bet you it's a lot.
Most of his teammates are doctors. Working in Silicon Valley, yep.
Yeah.
They're medical professionals.
Yeah. Well, they wouldn't have gotten accepted to Vanderbilt. We know that.
You better stop. You know what, Skip Bayless? You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Close that case.
That's the guy. People go to Vanderbilt, they get turned down from Stanford. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true.
Hey, we're going to get research on it. When we come back, we'll have some answers for you. Also coming up, did Kevin Durant take a major shot at LeBron? It sure seems like it, but we'll let you decide. We discuss
I'm going to put a stop to this, LeBron.
No mercy.
Hey guys, Jenny Taft here. There is a buzzy gift on everyone's list this year. It's something they'll use twice every day, was featured on Oprah's O List, and it's perfect for everyone with a mouth. This it gift is Quip, an electric toothbrush designed to make brushing better. What makes Quip the ideal option? Well, Quip toothbrushes use sonic vibrations that are gentle enough for sensitive gums and teeth. They come with a built-in 2-minute timer. It pulses every 30 seconds to remind you when it's time to switch sides. Guys, I have it. It's really awesome. And my travel schedule is packed, and the last thing I want to do, I don't want to lug around a bulky electric toothbrush. So with the slim design and a travel-ready holder, my Quip makes it easy to keep my teeth looking and feeling their best no matter where I am. That's why I love Quip and why they have over 5,000 verified 5-star reviews. Quip looks like a big-ticket tech gift with a stocking stuffer price starting at just $25. And if you go to getquip.com/undisputed right now, you can get your first refill pack for free with a Quip electric toothbrush. But you don't have to tell your giftee that. That is your first refill pack free at getquip.com/undisputed. Now, back to the show.
No mercy.
Kevin Durant is a 2-time NBA champ and a regular season and finals MVP. And now we may know what makes him tick. Listen to this. KD recently said he is, quote, a student of the game and watches hours of video of past, current, and future NBA players. Now, he highlighted 3 players, saying Kobe, MJ, and Kyrie. Just the way they move. I don't understand why people don't realize what they're seeing in these 3, especially Jordan and Kobe. Kyrie is younger than me, and that's one of my best friends, so I watch his stuff. But watching Kobe and Mike, I'm like, how do you not realize how good these dudes are? How do you not say they're by far better than anybody who's played the game? Everybody that comes to my house, whether it's friends or family, I make them watch Jordan highlights. This is equivalent to Einstein, bleeping Beethoven or Obama. This is the greatest talent and athletes and minds of the world. They're masters, they're geniuses. Shannon, Einstein, Beethoven, Obama, MJ, Kobe. It's quite a crew, but there's a name missing here. What does this tell you?
It's not an accident, Skip Bayless, because he views him as his greatest competition.
Who's he?
You know who he is.
Oh, that other guy?
Goat James.
Oh, the faux goat.
Goat James, no.
Yeah.
You heard him last night? Normally when guys play really well, the home team or big road, MVP. I heard him the other night, Skip, they hollering, GOAT, man, GOAT, man.
I didn't
GOAT, man, GOAT, man.
Were they?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Kevin Durant, you know what, Skip? I've gone as long.
I think you just created more fiction.
No, I didn't.
Yep.
Skip, I've taken it as long as I can. LeBron will never respond. But Kevin Durant need to stop with his jealousy. See, Kevin Durant last week, he said it's toxic that all these fanboys in the media. See, Kevin Durant is jealous. He doesn't have a fan club. He doesn't have fanboys because he's never thought of as the leader. See, Kevin Durant said, I don't want to be a leader. I just want to play hoops. LeBron James says, not only do I want to be, I am. I relish the role of being a leader. Kevin Durant needs to stop. He gonna talk about these guys, the way they can score the basketball, they're flashy. They can do things. Kevin Durant, can you drive the ball like LeBron?
No.
Of course not. Mention that. You know why, Skip Bayless? Because no matter what Kevin Durant does, he's never been thought of by better than LeBron, by anyone except you.
Well, and a whole bunch of GMs who said he should take the last shot of a game.
But hold on. How does taking the last shot say that you're the best? Huh?
Clutches?
No.
Or maybe LeBron unclutches?
No, Skip Bayless. There were like 40 categories. Kevin Durant finished first in one. LeBron finished first in 8. And was named on several others. But that's neither here nor there.
Who's the better shooter
Skip,
of those two? Help me out. Just help me out.
I'm reclaiming my time. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You want to talk or you want me to talk?
I want to hear the rest of your
thank you.
stuff.
Kevin Durant needs to stop with his jealousy. He needs to stop, and he keeps worried about, because see, what happens is LeBron doesn't spend his time on social media looking for praise.
No.
Kevin Durant on social media, when
true.
someone calls him soft, he lashes out.
I give you
LeBron James, not to our knowledge, doesn't have a burner account. Kevin Durant.
To our knowledge.
Yeah, to our knowledge. So let's go with what we know.
Okay.
We knew Kevin Durant had a burner account.
Correct.
We know Kevin Durant has thin skin.
Yep, and we know by his own admission, he goes home after practice and he'll stay on the internet for like 5 straight hours watching videos.
LeBron don't need.
That's a little
LeBron
nutty.
don't need to get on the internet.
Yeah.
He don't need that validation.
Yeah.
Because he already know he'd go. Yeah, GOAT man. Yeah, that's
he just
him.
lives on Instagram. I don't know.
Why you hate?
Am I right?
What do you think Kevin Durant lives on?
I don't know.
What the internet? So there's only a few forms of a few mediums of social media.
Yep.
He's on Instagram. He's on Twitter, maybe Snapchat, but whatever it is, Kevin Durant is looking for validation. Skip, I get it. Because it's hard for me to believe that Magic Johnson, when he had friends coming over, he showed them clips of Larry Bird and Michael Jordan. I get all that. But to sit there and acknowledge about, Kyrie, look here, bro. Kyrie is unbelievable, got unbelievable handles. All the guys you mentioned, Bernard King with the pull-up, I was old enough to remember Bernard.
Yeah.
But hey, Skip Bayless.
He even went to Sidney Moncrief. You old enough to know Sidney Moncrief?
And he gonna talk about he played defense. Kevin Durant, you started playing defense when you got to Golden State. You didn't play defense like this in OKC. Stop, who you trying to kid?
So Sidney Moncrief, but no LeBron James.
You ain't got to put it.
Wow.
LeBron, hold on. LeBron James been what, 5 or 6 times first team all defense.
Yep.
He's been all NBA, an NBA record. How many consecutive times, Skip Bayless? 11. 12 total. You're about to be making 13. Just running away with it.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, this jealousy is very unbecoming. And it's the one thing you can never rid yourself of. Because there are certain things that, you know what, they say, when I was growing up, Skip, TB with tuberculosis was very prevalent. And if you lived in wet climates, they'd ask you to move to Arizona. They would ask you to move to a dry area.
And your point is?
You could get rid of TB. You can't get rid of jealousy.
Oh.
Because it's in you. You can move to Florida. You can move to hell.
Wow.
But it's in you. It's in you, Kevin Durant.
We just compared tuberculosis to jealousy.
Yes.
Okay. Florida's hell.
Because one, you can move and escape it.
Oh,
the other, there's no way around it. Once it's inside of you, it'll eat you up, Skip
Really?
Bayless. And we're starting to see it, Kevin Durant, and it's not very becoming to a man of your stature.
It could be that Kevin's jealousy free. He's been tested and he has no jealousy.
But he let a man on his team call him a B. He let a man on his team, his own teammate think that of you. What do you say about that? I get lost in the game.
So let's see, what happened the last 2 NBA finals? I can't remember, I get a little foggy.
Kevin Durant's team beat LeBron James' team.
Kevin Durant won the Finals MVP back-to-back years by dominating a Game 3 in the King's Palace in Cleveland. Head-to-head, made the shot heard round the world 2 years ago in Game 3, shot it right in LeBron's face. So he knows LeBron inside and out. It's very possible he's just not as in awe of LeBron as he is of Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and even Kyrie's crossover.
You know what I noticed, Skip Bayless? He didn't become, he got less in awe of LeBron once he joined Golden State. Because before, when he was in OKC, who he go down there to learn his game for when LeBron spanked him, put it across his knee, and tore his tail up.
Yeah, and he was still a baby at that point.
No, he wasn't no baby. A 7-foot baby. And LeBron put him across the knee and said, I'm going to tear your butt up.
Really? And LeBron got away with that foul.
No, he didn't. Skip,
It was an all-time missed call. Do you remember that at the end of Game 2? They had him.
I don't remember anything.
They had him.
I remember.
And if they're up 2-0 going back to Miami, I don't think the outcome's the same. But whatever. So maybe it's that Kevin knows LeBron's game inside and out, and Kevin will be the first to say, he's the greatest power driver, attacker of the basket we have ever seen. But there's nothing pretty about it. There's nothing really awe-inspiring because LeBron has never been into breathtaking shot making. You know, that's not his game. He's not much of a shooter, to tell you the truth. He's gotten a little better over time.
Did you see Toronto last year, Game 2?
Yeah.
Did you see the shots
he has these rare hot streaks.
Oh,
but
what about
in general,
Game 1 against
he's
the Warriors?
not much of a shooter. And once again, he's plummeted all the way to 69% from the free throw
We're
line,
not
which
talking
is
about-
just unconscionable if you're all-time
Will
great.
you address Kevin Durant's
Yeah,
comment?
I am. But that's another thing that Kevin's 85%, he's going to routinely be 85 to almost 90% from the free throw line. So he just doesn't have that much respect for LeBron's overall game. And again, if we talk about passing the basketball, LeBron remains the best passer in the game today, and he has to rank all-time, top 5 passers.
Yeah.
I will give you that. But that doesn't awe Kevin Durant. So the first thing I want to say is, even though these comments are a little naive to me, but they were refreshing that the greatest scorer in the game today, who is Kevin Durant, that 7-foot monster,
but he's
who
still
can
up
shoot
on
threes
LeBron.
from
He
35
still don't score
feet.
as many points per game as LeBron.
If he wanted to.
So if LeBron wanted to?
If he didn't get saddled with having to play with Russell Westbrook in Oklahoma City, what do you think would have happened?
Okay, what if LeBron didn't play with Kyrie? What would have happened?
LeBron chose to play with Kyrie. He needed Kyrie to make last-second shots, as he did.
Like
in Game
LeBron
7.
needed Golden State instead of Curry.
But I did find this very refreshing that Kevin has rediscovered Michael Jeffrey Jordan, because I've told you before, I had the privilege of covering Michael Jordan in Chicago, and on a nightly basis, I would sit back and say, I've never seen that.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's
and the
fine,
next
it's
night,
justified.
I've never seen that, because he could palm the basketball like it was a tennis ball.
He could.
And he had explosive athleticism we have never seen from anybody in any sport that I've ever seen. Maybe you saw somebody better, but I haven't.
No.
Just on explosive playmaking athleticism.
And
There's never been anything where he would pull off moves where I'd say, that's not humanly possible, but he did it.
We saw David Thompson seem like he was walking in the air. We saw Dr. J seem like he was walking in the air. But we had never seen one man do this so consistently.
Yep.
Defy gravity.
Right. So I'm like, Kevin, where have you been? Because Kevin's old enough to know that, because he grew up with Michael Jordan, right? And now he's sort of rediscovered the greatness of Michael Jordan and of Kobe. And I'm with him. And I love it that maybe the kids today will read these comments and say, maybe I should go on YouTube and start really checking out Michael Jordan and Kobe. Well, what's wrong with that?
Skip, stop. First of all, there's nothing to discover. Michael Jordan and Kobe, two of the greatest scorers that we've ever seen, in the way that they could score the basketball, because they could hit you with the turnaround, they could pull up, they could get to the basket. They had the flair, they had the flash, they had the pizzazz.
Yeah.
They were more Liberace. Yeah. They had all, the big costumes, all the
Liberace
packaging.
way before my time. I don't even know who you're talking about. I don't know who you're talking about.
You do know who I'm talking about. But they had the flair, the pizzazz. LeBron is the construction worker. He coming out there with them red wings. He coming out there with that hard hat. He
That's
going to punch
true.
the clock.
You know what? That's the most positive, negative thing you've ever said about LeBron James. But he is. He's hard-hatted. That's how he plays.
But see, what you want.
It's brutish. It's bullish.
Yeah. But somebody got to get this infrastructure right. Somebody got to fill these potholes. Somebody got to make sure the bridges are structurally sound. That's LeBron James, Skip Bayless.
Okay.
And Kevin Durant need to stop hating too. So it's very unbecoming on somebody so small.
Kevin Durant is not stupid, and Kevin Durant knew exactly what he was doing and saying here. And the first point is, he says, I don't understand why people don't realize what they're seeing in these three, pointing out MJ, Kobe, and Kyrie. So he goes all the way to Kyrie, and he says, Kyrie's younger than me, but I watch him, and I watch the crossover, and I think, I can't do that. Well, he can't do that.
Right.
LeBron can't do that, right?
No, but there's a lot of guys that couldn't do that. Kyrie is as good a handler of the ball that we've ever seen. Maybe like and one guys. We were talking about NBA, Skip.
Yeah.
Isaiah could handle the ball, but not like him. Stephon Marbury could handle the ball, but not like him.
I've been saying that.
AI had the crossover.
Yep.
But as far as just handle, sitting down, patting the ball, nobody in NBA history could do what Kyrie does. It's like he has a yo-yo in his hand and the ball's on the string and he's going here and there. Okay, we get all that. But at the end of the day, you can do all that flash. Can you put the ball in the basket? Because my guy can put the ball in the basket, and when it's all said and done, guess what, Skip Bayless? He's going to be the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. He's going to be top 5 in assists in NBA history.
Yeah.
And he might be top 10 in rebounding in NBA history. What are we talking about, Kevin?
Well, that's because he has Dak Prescott's durability. Am I right? I'm knocking on wood. I got to knock on
Dak
wood.
Prescott's been in the league for 3 years.
I'm saying I see some of Dak and LeBron or vice versa.
Say
where he can take the beating.
Brett Favre durability. Because Brett Favre played 300 games.
He did, yeah. Vibranium will do that for you.
Yeah, stop it. You know what? Kevin Durant, Skip. Kevin Durant, this is starting to get on the things of jealousy, Skip. I don't know if, and I know you're seeing it also.
I don't see it. I really don't. I think he pointedly left LeBron out of this discussion.
Why?
Because he just doesn't have that much respect. And again, are they arch rivals for the best player in the game today? Sure they are. But I think he looks down, literally and figuratively, at 6'9" LeBron. I just think he thinks LeBron can't do the things the 7-foot monster, as you call him, can do.
Okay, that's fine.
Because we've never seen anybody be able to shoot from range, from distance, the way Kevin can at 7 feet tall with 7'7" arm length.
Kevin Durant, now all of a sudden, LeBron done slapped him around the NBA for his first 10, 11 years in the NBA. He go get 2, 3, 4 of the baddest guys on the planet to team up with, and now he want to stick his chest out. Oh, I can't believe they don't look at Kobe. You wasn't talking like that. I need you to have that energy when you was in OKC.
He's back-to-back Finals MVP. You can talk when you back it up.
Yeah, when you got Steph Curry, a 2-time MVP, when you got arguably the second or third greatest shooter in Klay Thompson, and you got a junkyard dog who's the glue in Draymond, it's easy.
He was very careful to include Steph in this by saying, I see Steph in practice every day, so I don't even need to talk about how great he is. So he's on the list.
Look, Skip, by any metric, Steph Curry is the greatest shooter that the NBA has ever witnessed.
I would agree.
He has 2 MVPs,
Yep.
one of them unanimous. When all the greats, no one has ever got all the first place votes. He's done that, so we don't need to go. We know what Steph is. But for him to blatantly omit and to show his jealousy and to wear it like a badge of honor, got a J on his chest. You know, the scarlet letter, they had an A. You know what that A stood for. Well, Kevin Durant got a J on his chest. We know what that stands for, Kevin. Jealousy, jealousy, yeah, that's you.
Hey, you know who Kevin reminds me of? The 10 kids who voted you off your high school basketball
Yeah,
team.
that's what he jealousy, Skip. Because as long as he was right there, because now everybody started to say, I don't know, Steph Curry might be the second best player. Now all of a sudden, he's not second best. He might be third or fourth best, because we know.
Here's what you're missing. When you know you're the best player, how can you be jealous of the second best player?
Ain't nobody know that. He don't know that. He know that. He know that because that's why he said, I don't need no one to tell me. I know I can hoop with anyone.
It's a good argument. It's a good argument. We'll come back.
That dude from Akron, Skip Bayless, born to Glow James on a Sunday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yep.
And there was a single star in the sky that
That's a bad. Shut your mouth.
No mercy.
The Steelers lost to the Raiders on Sunday, and in the process, they were without Ben Roethlisberger for nearly an entire half. He injured his ribs in the second quarter and didn't return until the middle of the fourth. And after the game, Mike Tomlin said that Ben could have come back sooner, but the team was in a rhythm. And yesterday, he gave a different explanation. Check it out.
They went through their procedures. Even after getting the X-ray, We didn't have great clarity, to be honest with you. Wasn't able to read the X-ray to our satisfaction. It was probably a dated piece of equipment or what have you. So we never really fully had a complete understanding of specifically what the injury was at the stadium site. Because of the lack of information, we thought that the best thing to do, the most prudent thing to do, would to be only to make Ben available in an emergency-like situation.
And the team kind of said, and I say the team, it's Colbert, it's everybody, was kind of like, let's let this thing play out, because I think it was still the unknown of the injury. I think what they were probably worried about is making it worse, right? Because we didn't know what the injury was.
Interesting. Shannon, what do you make of this?
I hear a lot of excuses, Skip Bayless. Now, Mike Thomas said they didn't have great clarity. So when did they gain that clarity to put him back in the game? Mike Tomlin said they're only going to put him back in an emergency. I didn't see Joshua Dobbs get hurt. Did Mason Rudolph come in the game? Well, he probably was a scratch. So in other words, Skip, the emergency was we started losing. You see what? So my thing is, if the outdated equipment, well, I'm sorry, Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
You weren't at Mass General or the Mayo Clinic, who doesn't have the NFL stadiums doesn't have the latest and greatest in technology and equipment. I'm sorry to inconvenience you. I hear a lot of excuses. But I noticed I didn't hear Mike Tomlin give any excuses about when they had a 16-point lead to San Diego. What was that excuse? Or they had a 7-point lead to the Broncos. What was that excuse? I keep hearing all these excuses, and now I'm starting to see where Ben get them from. Starts at the top. I hear a lot of excuses. Oh, the equipment, it wasn't updated. So when did you get the clarity that you needed that it was okay to put Ben back in the ball game? So if you didn't know and you put him back in, was he okay? Was he medically cleared? And then you hear Ben talking about, well, they were in a rhythm. What rhythm? They got 4 first downs on 4 possessions. What rhythm is that? They got 2, 1, 0 interception. Where's the rhythm? Man, Steelers need to miss me with this foolishness. But I told you, Skip, when they started taking them shots early and we had to pick our super, I said, I ain't picking them. Yeah, you're not going to take no shots at a teammate and pretend like the guy didn't exist and think everything's going to be cool. Just explain it. They tried to get through. What happened was, Skip, is that they were hoping that Joshua Dobbs could pull this out against the lowly Raiders. Well, first of all, you shouldn't have been in this situation. You should have had it because you're favored, I think, by 10 points.
10.
So you should have been way, way ahead. But it just goes to show you this is the Steelers. This is why nobody has any confidence in them. This is why nobody picked them to go to Super Bowl. I know I didn't. I still don't get it. Mike Tomlin and Ben still haven't told me or told us what information that they got to put Ben back in that they didn't have when they kept him out. That's all I need to know. So if the doctor didn't know, couldn't read the X-ray or whatever technology they used, if he couldn't read it then, what information did they gather by watching the game? Say, oh, yeah, Ben, you good to go now. Really? Man, they need to miss me with all these excuses.
So I don't know exactly what happened at Oakland, but I do know Oakland, by your estimation, is the worst team in pro football. And Pittsburgh was favored by 10. And they were thinking all along, let's just save Ben for New England, which is coming up this Sunday, right? So they're just thinking, hang on. We'll put this game away. And Derek Carr would not let them put the game away. The Pittsburgh defense couldn't close or slam the door. The Pittsburgh defense over these last 3 games, 3 losses by Pittsburgh, ranks 26th in the NFL in points allowed. It's been awful. You know it and I know it. And that's the unit that Mike Tomlin is known for coaching, right?
Had a 16-point lead and was 220-0-1, Skip.
Okay. So I do know that mausoleum of a Coliseum at Oakland. I've been there many, many times for many, many games. And it is antiquated.
It is.
I do not doubt that the X-ray machines are prehistoric. But usually an X-ray machine will show you pretty quickly what's up, it's just immediate. You can see it. So I'm not buying that. Were they waiting for his meds to kick in? Well, and I know if you get a shot, it's immediate.
It doesn't take long because I've had plenty of them.
And you can take oral medication and it kicks in within
they gave him a shot. If it was something with the rib, they put a needle in this.
Yeah, because they're afraid he had cracked ribs. It wound up that when they got back to Pittsburgh, they're saying multiple rib contusions. I have no idea, just bruised ribs. So the point is, at halftime, it was 14-10. Ben went out with 10 seconds left in the first half. So he comes and stands on the sidelines, and it looks like they got it, and then all of a sudden they don't got it. And Derek Carr takes over with 5:25 to go, and he goes and scores a touchdown on that defense, 17-14, Oakland. And Tomlin says, I think emergency just happened.
Yeah, exactly.
And you got to go,
exactly.
right?
The emergency, we were losing. That's the
correct.
emergency.
And Ben takes them 6 plays, 75 yards, boom, and they're up 21-17. And I'm sure they're thinking, well, that ought to do it, right? And here came Derek Carr again, and they go the other way, 8 plays, 75 yards, and all of a sudden they are down. He completes a 4th and goal pass from the 6, and they're down 24-21 with 15 seconds left. And guess what Ben does? It's extraordinary. They run a little hook and lateral play to James Washington, to Juju, and it goes all the way down to the 22-yard line with 5 seconds to go, and they send in their little kicker who's been pretty disastrous this year, Chris Boswell, and he plants in that soggy mess of a turf in Oakland, and his plant foot goes right out from under him, and you know the end of the story.
But Skip, he planted on the side of his foot.
Okay.
They don't put nubs on the side of your foot. They put them on the bottom of your foot.
Which is why I think I read last night they're bringing in candidates to replace him, and I'm not sure they're going to be able to pull that off before the New England game.
Well, good luck with that. Good luck replacing your kicker this late in the season and having that work out for
But
you.
when Ben played, I got to say, Ben was extraordinary late in this game, as he often is, right?
He was extraordinary in Denver. He was extraordinary.
Well, until that one play, he was extraordinary.
But it's always those plays, because remember, he threw the interception.
Yep.
He threw the interception that got San Diego back in the game.
Yep.
Man, they need to stop with all these excuses, Skip. Just go ahead and say, look, what we were trying to do, we were trying to save Ben. We thought Joshua Dobbs could win this game.
Yep.
Because if you didn't know, if the equipment was outdated, you didn't get him you didn't retest it. So what did you know when you put him in?
Yep.
That you didn't know when you held him out.
So yesterday, Ben Roethlisberger basically dismissed the fact that Pittsburgh has been owned by New England by saying, in effect, New England beats everybody. Why should we be upset about it?
But that's the thing. I would never say that.
You know what? He has no anger. He has no urgency. What have I told you about Ben Roethlisberger? He's got 2 rings. He's got his money. He's got his family. He's got his Pittsburgh legacy. He's got his post-career anytime he wants. I'm sure he could segue right into TV as a commentator, or he could just live in Pittsburgh and be a legend, because he's a legend in Pittsburgh. So does he really, does he lose any sleep over A, throwing an interception, or B, losing a football game? He does not. I promise he does not. So here comes New England again. Do you think he's on fire to wreak some revenge on Tom Brady? No. He's like, they beat everybody. So we'll go try, and if we lose, the sun will come up. I still got my kids. It's okay.
The one thing I can say about my former quarterback, John Elway, it hurt him. It bothered him to throw an interception.
It does most of these guys.
It should.
Yeah, except this guy.
And he never said, that's just what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn the ball over. I'm okay with it. No.
Yeah. So I'm going to say these numbers again because it's coming. Right down the train tracks, Sunday afternoon at Pittsburgh. Tom Brady is 11-2 against Pittsburgh lifetime.
12-2.
12-2 this time?
Yep.
Okay. He is 30 touchdowns to 4 interceptions against Pittsburgh, the vaunted Steeler defense.
He'll probably lead there with 33, 34
Think so?
and 4.
And at Pittsburgh, he is 2-0 in the postseason and 6-2, and you say it's going to be 7-2.
Yep.
And directly head-to-head with Ben Roethlisberger, he's 8-2, and Ben ain't losing a wink of sleep over it, right?
Because like you said, they beat everybody.
Yeah.
So?
Interesting.
They didn't ask you about everybody.
Yep.
They asked them about your team, about you.
Yeah.
And you deflect and talk about, they beat everybody.
Don't you want your leader, your alpha, to step up and say, I'm angry about you? Don't you want to hear a little emotion from him?
Well, this is what he was supposed to say. It's like, okay, what has happened in the past is not going to have a bearing on this ball game.
Yeah.
We will be ready to play, and we're going to change the outcome.
Yeah.
And they beat everybody.
Hey, his quote was like, I keep hearing we keep losing to New England. Well, everybody loses New England.
Yeah, you guess what? You're going to keep hearing it. Because you do. What you going to do about that? That's the thing I love about sports, Skip, because you can do something about the outcome. A lot of other things, there's a lot of things going on. You have to wait cycles.
Yeah.
But in football, Skip, you get it next week.
Yeah. Talk is usually cheap, except when it comes out of your mouth. You get paid for it.
Yeah.
You get paid huge dollars for your talk.
They paid me in Denver and Baltimore to talk. They thought they were paying me to play football. Now you paying me to talk.
Yeah. Shannon's talk is not cheap.
No.
Yeah.
Well, does Jerry Jones deserve all the credit for the Cowboys' success? Is it Jerry? We'll discuss that coming up next. He did make a pretty good move.
No mercy.
Let's get to the Cowboys. Dallas was criticized by a lot of people when they traded a first-round pick for Amari Cooper back in October, but 6 touchdown catches later and 5 straight wins, it seems like the Cowboys got a steal. And yesterday, Jerry Jones talked about Cooper. Here he is.
I can't tell you how pleased I am that from our fans to everybody involved that he is such a complete player for us. And when you see him not make much, not have many plays, not many targets early, and then turn around and change the game like that, then you realize what kind of impact that he can have. And so I'm proud for everybody out there. The first thing I saw Dak smiling was, boy, we like that Cooks, buddy.
So smiles all around there. But Shannon, how much credit does Jerry deserve for the Cowboys' successes?
Skip, you know me. I give him 100% of the blame, so I got to give him 100% of the credit because this move doesn't happen. The Amari Cooper deal does not happen without Jerry Jones' blessing. So he got it. Also, Skip, when everybody says you need a wide receiver, he drafted a tackling Dutchman, Van Der Esch. Everybody says you need to go get Earl Thomas. He didn't cave to Seattle. No,
he tried. He tried, but then they jerked the rug out from under him.
And he's like, no, I'm good. Because I believe, just think about this. I do not believe that Earl Thomas could have had the impact on this defense that Amari Cooper's had on the offense.
And then God bless Early got hurt.
He got hurt. Yeah. But even if he doesn't get hurt, the likelihood of them
I'm with you. I agree with that.
If they get Earl,
agree.
Guess who they don't have? Amari.
They don't.
So now, and plus,
I'm with you. You're correct.
Chris Richard.
Yeah.
Who's there? That's Jerry.
It's Jerry.
So you got to give him, Skip. This move, the moves that they've made, you got to give Jerry the credit because we can go all this and that. Well, Steven is taking a lot of the day-to-day operation, and Charlotte, he's listening. At the end of the day, like Jerry Jones said, the buck stops with me.
Yep.
He's like, I run everything about. We sit around the table, but at the end of the day, he got rid of Dez. That was his decision. There maybe some guys were in the room saying, we need to keep Dez. Nah, Dez got to go.
Yep.
Well, we need to draft Calvin Ridley. Nah, I want Van Der Esch. We need to, no. Earl, I'm not, like, look, this is what they agreed to. Now they want to up the ante because they think we're desperate. Nah, we're not going to do that. Philly jumps in. Amari Cooper says, we give you a second. Jerry thought about it. Nah, I'll give you a first. Okay. Nah, Skip. I beat him up when things go bad because he says he's the general manager, he's the CEO, he's the executive VP, he's the janitor, and he's the meal prep.
As he said in his opening press conference back in 1989, I want to know everything down to the socks and the jocks, and he does. Go ahead.
So with that being said, I'm getting 100% of the credit. Because what has Jason Garrett done? Jason Garrett doesn't call plays. He's doing the exact same thing he did before Amari Cooper got there.
And you know, Coach Clapp, it's working.
Yeah.
Because, man, when they're scoring, he's like, keep clapping.
And he's
good. It's good. As long as you win, it works.
And he goes to Coop.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. Put him in that comfort zone. So, fortunately or unfortunately, I agree with everything you just said. This topic is bittersweet for me. This topic has ultimate good news and bad news for me. This topic horrifies me, but I am with you. Jerry Jones is now, dare I say, the front runner for Executive of the Year in the National Football League.
He might be.
Because he got Amari for 1 first-round pick. And again, Khalil Mack went to Chicago for 2 first-rounders plus a 3rd and a 6th-round draft pick, right? So it cost a lot, and they had to give him 6 years, $141 million right up front. $90 million guaranteed went to Khalil Mack. Is he worth it? He looks like he's going to be worth it. But that's quite a haul to give to Khalil Mack.
Right.
And right now, Amari Cooper's 24 years old with 1 more year left on his deal. And you got him for a first-rounder that's looking worse and worse for Oakland, as you pointed out, right? So all that's great. And to your point, very astute on your part, he had the guts just to cut bait with Des Bryant, who's like a son to him. I didn't think Jerry would ever be capable of that, but that was extraordinary. And then we can go down to the coaching moves. Chris Richard, he is a young stud, potential head coach. And he is sharing, sort of running the defense with Rod Marinelli, and Rod's kind of phasing out a little bit.
For a long, Skip, they're going to have to make this young man some assurances because he's going to be in line to be a head coach somewhere.
Remember what they did during the bye? They fired their first-year offensive line coach, Paul Alexander, who came from Cincinnati,
Yep.
and they said, let's elevate Mark Colombo and let's go knock on the door of one Hudson Houck. I told you, the best offensive line coach I was ever around, and at age 75, he comes out of retirement to be their advisor to the offensive line. And what happened pretty quickly? It flipped right around and started to click, right?
Yep.
So all those are Jerry. He had to bless all those moves.
Absolutely.
And they all started to click. Now, what happened just a few weeks back? The nightmare at Tennessee at Jerry World, right? That awful Monday night. I still haven't recovered from it. And the whole world, starting with Troy Aikman, and then we did it here, we just said, this has got to stop. Right? I was beating the desk here the next morning. Jerry Jones needs to fire himself. He needs to fire his puppet coach, Jason Garrett, and go get a real head coach, right? We're all saying it. Everybody's screaming it from the rooftops.
Yep.
Stop the dysfunction in Dallas. Stop this management style that Jerry allows players to go right over Jason's head and go right to Daddy Jerry and say, I don't like what's happening, right?
It has been that way since he fired Jimmy.
Okay? It has been, and it wasn't working until this started happening. Amari comes, and 3 players, Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott and Amari Cooper, just on intangibles and tangibles, they rose above the dysfunction, right?
Yep.
And they lifted this team up with them, and the defense sort of came of age, tackling Dutchman and all those kids. And I got to give Will McClay huge credit here because, again, I didn't love Leighton Vander Esch. I just knew very little about him. And the day after, I'm saying, no, they need a receiver.
Yep.
Who? Boise State. I told you I watched Josh Allen play one game against Boise. I couldn't even see double nickels, 55.
And a move that doesn't get a whole lot of credit or talked about. He selected Jalen Smith and redshirted him.
He did.
With all the medical red flags because they said it might the nerves might generate, they might not. And Jerry said, I don't care. This guy is too talented because if they do regenerate,
that is correct.
We might have a young Ray Lewis on our hand.
That is correct.
And that's
they
what
do.
Yeah,
they
man.
do.
He's violent.
Okay.
And he's ooh.
And then the next draft they go Awuzie, who looks like he's pretty good.
Yep.
You know, he's a starting corner. I think he's very good, and he's got star quality. And Xavier Woods, I wasn't sure about, but he's that starting safety. Do you hear much from the 2 safeties back there? Jeff Heath, I don't love either one of them, but do they get burned much? It doesn't seem like it, right?
Nope.
And then Jordan Lewis has contributed here and there, and Anthony Brown. These are all hit. And then this year, does Michael Gallup look like he can play some? Yeah. That Dalton Schultz, speaking of Stanford, there's another Stanford kid. Does he look like he's starting to make some plays? He's another rookie, right?
You know what? The fans in Dallas ain't getting many tacos because he's been a healthy stretch. I told you, Skip Bayless.
He's a healthy scratch. He could be a swing and miss. He could be. But again, you're going to swing and miss. But if you hit on enough, all of a sudden you've got what looks like could be the best defense in pro football.
Because they got so much depth on that defensive line.
They do.
They don't even miss tacos.
Okay. So here's the worst case scenario, and I have to deal with this because I've suffered for a while. The worst case would be the bottom falls out now and somehow they lose the last 3 and they barely fall short in the NFC East and fall short of the playoffs. And you know what Jerry could still do? Beat his chest and say, yeah, but we were that close.
Right.
And did you see that 5-game winning streak? It's onward and upward. And I'm saying, no, it's onward and downward because you'd go right back into the dysfunction and it would be all reinforced by that run that you had,
and
right?
Say, you see how good Amari was? Imagine when he gets a OTA
I know.
and a training camp and mini camp up on his belt.
That's the worst case.
I don't think they're going to do that, Skip. But you got to give Jerry the credit because we know everything, the buck stops with him. It starts with him. He signs the check. Hey, there's no check going out. There's nothing going out when these moves without Jerry Jones's blessing. So he blessed all these moves, and I'm here. You know what? Hey, I beat him up, Skip. You know, hey, when he's wrong and I think he's done wrong, I'll say it. But Jerry Jones, now, Jerry, you get 100% of the credit. Can I get them Christmas ornaments again now? Ever since I started working with you, I have got no Christmas ornaments.
It wasn't my fault. It was your fault. Because you got cowboy hate just spitting out of your mouth.
Jerry got the big old nice ornaments. I mean, like this big.
So
ain't got one.
So that's your price? He can just buy you for one Christmas ornament? Really? That's all you got?
I just want to get back on the list.
Yeah?
Now I have to settle because Mr. Kraft be sending me special gifts.
Really?
Yep.
I'll find you some at a nice department store.
Huh. I think you're about to burn the Mr. Kraft.
Oh,
grade.
no, Mr. Kraft and I will be good.
Because you and Tommy are not good.
We and Tommy might not be good, but me and Mr. Kraft like this.
Really?
And Coach Belichick like
Really?
this.
Like that?
Yep.
Oh, that's your problem, not mine.
I don't know why you got it for Coach Belichick, but you heard Winston saying it's Coach Belichick and Tom.
Winston Moss wants to get back into pro football.
Stop it!
You know, he does, and I don't blame him. So he's protecting and protecting and protecting. It's okay.
So where you say he lies.
Well, he's ducking and dodging the truth.
The truth of the matter is, Coach Belichick, Brady.
Yeah. Well, the truth of the matter is that my Dallas Cowboys got a shot to make a deep playoff run.
So you
and
get
the truth of the matter is Jerry Jones is living up to his Hall of Fame credentials. Am I right?
Yeah, so you give him 100% of the credit?
Well, Will McClay deserves something in that. You got to give him some of it, but about 75 goes to Jerry.
But Jerry got to sign off.
Yeah. No, he does. He signs off on all those picks. He does. I will agree. It's just hard for me to give Jerry 100%.
Give it to him.
But once upon a time, I wrote a book in which I gave Jerry 50% of the credit for that early dynasty with Jimmy. Jimmy not happy with me at that point, but that's okay. We got over it. We got through it. But Jerry deserved 50% of the credit for building the 90s.
50.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know about 50.
Hey, he signed off on all those picks. He went and got Charles Haley. He went and got Deion Sanders. These are huge game-changer moves.
But back then, they did a lot of that in the draft, Skip.
No, they did.
They did a lot of that. I mean, Troy was drafted, Emmett was drafted, Russell Mallett was drafted, all those guys, those young, the Tony Tolberts and the Darren Woodson.
But the two catalysts, like the Amari kind of acquisitions, Charles Haley, Deion Sanders, right?
Yeah.
Jerry.
All right, straight ahead are the Seahawks taking shots at Richard Sherman. There seems to be no love lost there. We'll discuss that coming up straight ahead.
No mercy.
Richard Sherman played 7 seasons in Seattle, but there appears to be no love lost from his former teammates. Sherman and the Niners face the Seahawks Sunday on Fox, and last month he called his former team, quote, middle of the road. Well, Seahawks defensive end Frank Clark was asked about it earlier this week. He wasn't happy. He said, he's not in this locker room no more, so his opinion really doesn't matter. They've got some problems over there in San Fran that he needs to be worried about. This is my team now. This is my defense. Richard Sherman, his era, that's over here. If he's got anything to say about our defense, he can say it on the field. Shannon, you like those comments? Are they fair?
I do like those comments. He's now in Seattle. It's not his team. It's Russell Wilson's team. Seattle made that abundantly clear. They got rid of Richard Sherman. Cam Chancellor had to retire. Earl Thomas would have still been there. He would have been a voice in that locker room. Cliff Averill, he had to retire.
He did.
So basically, this is Russell Wilson and this is Bobby Wagner's defense. But I get the premise of what Clark was trying to say. Why are you worried about what's going on over here? And at the time that Sherman made those comments, they were a middle-of-the-road team. But that's not for you to worry about. So what? We could be off the road. You worry about your team. Why you worry about what we got going on over here? That's basically what he's telling Sherman. And he said, look, you got issues in San Francisco. You guys are in line to get the #1 pick overall. And you worried about what we got going on over here? Because we win 2 of these last 3 ball games. We go into the playoff.
Yep.
Y'all win 2 or 3 of your last games. You're going to get out of the #1 pick.
That's correct.
So why are you talking to us? So I get it. The guy's going to defend his teammates. He's going to defend his locker room.
Yep.
Sherm need to let it go. Sherm comes off as being better.
He does.
That it happened, that he got released. And especially, Skip, because there are times that I'm sure Sherman in his mind is like, I played injured, I played hurt, and at the first chance that you get to release me, this is what happens. But, Skip, this is always what happens when someone is as outspoken. You remember I told you T.O., as great as T.O. was, the moment his play slipped a little, they moved on.
Sure.
And as soon as Richard Sherman got an injury and they felt they were comfortable enough moving on, they moved on.
They did.
Seattle is a lot better, Skip. I did not think they would be this good. As good as they are. No one had this team as a playoff team, Skip. Given what they lost defensively and with no running game and with the offensive line and Russell Wilson taking the hits that he took. And for them to be in the position the position that they're in, I think it speaks a lot to this team and the front office to put it together.
And we were prematurely handing out some awards to my Dallas Cowboys in the last segment, and now we should bring up the fact Pete Carroll's in the Coach of the Year running.
Oh, absolutely.
And John Schneider should be an Executive of the Year running because they have either rebuilt or retooled this team on the fly.
Yes.
I'm in awe of it
Yes.
because all they had to build around was Russell and Bobby Wagner.
Correct.
And it worked, man. And Monday night, that was a tour de force.
Yeah.
Again, running the ball. He had 72 yards passing, but it worked, right? And
Yep.
the defense, Bobby Wagner's playing at a hellacious high level. Yeah.
That's the best middle. It goes back and forth between me, he and Kuechly. Now those two guys in Dallas, now as a tandem, it's hands down is them. But I tell you what, who give them a run for their money, Skip? You see they'll group up in Chicago, or Roquan and James.
Hey, you know what I think of Roquan? After last year's national semifinal, I said, that young man can take over games.
He can play.
And he is taking over games.
But why, Skip? And I'm sure you're thinking the same thing. Why does Sherman feel the need to comment about everything and all things Seattle?
Richard Sherman feels the need to comment about any and everything that happens in the world.
Exactly.
And as many people know, I had a long ago battle with him. I'm not the biggest fan of his. We've invited him again and again and again and again to come sit right here if he wants to. I think he lives in Southern California. I'm not sure about that. He's from Southern California.
Yes, he
but
is.
in the offseason, he's welcome to come in here and speak his piece to us. But right now, he is speaking his piece back to Seattle because it feels like he left his heart in Seattle.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
His whole identity was Legion of Boom,
Right.
shut down corner,
Right.
even though he's sort of a zone corner.
Right.
And he was backed up by the two baddest safeties. I don't know, as a tandem. Has there ever been a better tandem in the history of the National Football League than those two?
Yep.
That was special. And so now he's taking pot shots back at Seattle. He had very negative things to say about Russell Wilson. And it's unbecoming of him because he is a great player.
Yeah.
I'll give him great because he played at a high level for a long time. He had, unfortunately, an Achilles tear, which is a rupture.
And especially
it's the hardest thing to come back
position,
from. Yep.
at his age.
Yep.
But Skip, he should have known this. I mean, when you see, first of all, I don't care how great you are. You start taking shots at the franchise quarterback, something's got to give.
Yep.
And normally teams are not moving on from franchise quarterbacks.
Well,
They'll
obviously, Richard thought, as did the other members of Legion of Boom, that the team got torn apart because of the head coach's affection for the quarterback, right?
Yeah.
And he put the ball in the quarterback's hand at the end of that Super Bowl loss to Tom Brady and company, and they never got over it.
Nope.
As you insightfully said from the start, that was not the beginning of the end, that was just the end,
Yeah.
right?
Because the thing is, Skip, Richard, they looked at it like this, is that Russell had the cachet to change the play. If he was a rookie quarterback, Skip Bayless, they call a play, you say, okay, I'm running with it. But in that situation, you say, nah, I'm audibling, I'm going to hand this ball to beast mode. That's why they didn't forgive him. They know Russell didn't call that play. They know Darrell Bevel set that play in. They also hold Pete Carroll accountable because he can hear the play being called in, and he could have said no turnaround.
Yep.
So I believe they hold Pete Carroll and Russell more culpable than they hold the guy that actually called the play in Darrell Bevel.
Yep.
And they never forgave Russell for that. And granted, maybe the head coach, but that's normal. Then you make it seem like the head coach doesn't show an affinity to any franchise quarterback. Of course, you can't hit it. And yes, they would try to pick John off in practice too because that would give the guys the bragging right. But John was the type of guy, if you picked him off, he was going like, okay, let me come back with my big guns. 84. He was like, hey, 84, 80, let's go. Because he wanted you try to show him up, you better believe. Even though I'm like, I'm just getting a drink of what? I put my cup down, go back in there.
But it was 80, then 84.
Yeah. No.
88.
84. 80. They know 84 put that work in. Yeah.
Did he?
Oh, yeah.
That's not what I heard.
And that's what that's all I needed. Y'all talking today?
Huh.
Oh, I got to strike up the band on you. But certainly let this go, Skip. Let it go.
Well, Frank Clark struck up the band on Richard.
It hurts.
And I liked it.
Yeah.
And look, Frank Clark, let's be honest about this, he had a big domestic violence issue at Michigan that got him kicked out of Michigan, and it's why Seattle was able to steal him in the second round of the draft. He's become a force
But
for
he's
them.
playing unbelievable.
He is unbelievable.
He's playing his tail off.
Yep. Every time I look up, there he is in the backfield.
Yes.
So he's become a force with Bobby Wagner, which has put this defense back on the map. But I don't know if it's my team now, he said. I don't know if Bobby's going to love that. But again, the point is, it's not Richard's team anymore.
Right.
His era is over. That's what I loved. His era is over. And then this is what, this is the kind of stuff I wanted to hear from Ben Roethlisberger going into the New England game. But he said, we're going to go out there with pure aggression. We're going to stop that run in San Francisco, and we're going to have fun on third down. Okay, that's the way you should talk.
Right.
That's Shannon Sharpe Memorial trash talk.
You see, the thing is, Skip, if you think about it, when the Ravens talk, they say, this started with Ray Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
They still heap praise on Ray. Ray's been retired 5 years. Ray went to the Hall of Fame last year.
Yep.
So 5 years. They still heap praise on Ed Reed.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, with Sherman, this defense, they moved on. They don't mention him. Out of sight, out of mind. And
you know what? That is true. I mean, the Ravens still feed off the legacy built by your team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is. It's
Yes.
still. It's kind of like, I feel like Ray just hovers over the defense to this day.
And they feel they got to play to a standard.
Yeah.
Well, the Seattle, they still play to the standard, but they're like, oh, we can play to Bobby standard.
Yeah.
Sherm, you gone.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, there it is.
Get him, Sherm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right, one thing we
I
can
would
all
like to have
agree
him
on.
come in here someday.
Yeah, I would like.
Do you think you will?
I don't know. He's
sure.
had many opportunities. Maybe.
I'll call Kyle. Maybe I'll get Kyle Shanahan to come. I'll call Kyle.
Richard.
You could do that. I'd rather have
Welcome,
Richard,
anytime.
just me.
Right
You
there,
ready
right
to have
there,
Richard?
one-on-one. Yeah. All right, one thing we can all agree on, that Kyler Murray is a phenom, but should he play baseball or football next year? Rob Parker comes in, answers that question, coming up next.
No mercy.
On Saturday, Kyler Murray won the Heisman, and in a few weeks, he'll face Alabama in the college football playoff. But that might be the last football game he ever plays if he decides to stick with baseball. Now, Kyler was drafted by the Oakland A's and signed for nearly $5 million, and his agent, Scott Boras, said, quote, Kyler has agreed, and the A's agreed to a baseball contract that gave him permission to play college football through the end of the season, and after that, he's under contract to play baseball. And for more, we're joined by Rob Parker. Rob, if you're Kyler Murray, I don't see a whole lot of parallels here, but if you're Kyler Murray, what do you do?
This is an easy decision. Most people don't have an option to play more than one sport, so they play whatever they're good at. In this case, you have to play baseball if you can play baseball. And I just got a couple of nuggets. Here's yesterday alone.
By the way, give yourself some credibility. You have covered baseball for, what, 30
plus years, right?
years.
I'm a Baseball Hall of Fame voter. You know.
Stop bragging.
I'm
You
not
ain't come out here to
bragging.
brag.
I'm just telling you about
Let him.
baseball, Skip. So you know that this is the game. and the thing yesterday alone, Troy Tulowitzki got released by the Toronto Blue Jays yesterday.
And how much did
His
they owe him?
parting shot was, right, parting gift, I should say, was they owed him $38 million. You know how much he got to take with him out of that $38 million in his contract? $38 million. I'm just, so when you look at it financially, and also if you can play, here's the only thing that I think stops a lot of young guys nowadays. Everybody wants instant gratification. If you go to the NFL, you go straight to the league. There's no minor league, any of that. When you go to baseball, you got to put in a couple years in the minor leagues. That's what a lot of kids get turned off by. You know what I mean? That you got to work your way.
Football does have a minor league. It's called college.
Right. But you've already done that.
Yes.
Right. And you go on. But the only other thing here, too, is just because you won the Heisman Trophy doesn't mean you're going to be a star in the NFL. The list of Heisman Trophy busts that didn't make it is long. And then when you're talking about being undersized, baseball doesn't matter about size.
Right.
You got little guys, big, it doesn't even matter.
Andrew McCutcheon just got a ton of money from Philadelphia, and he's about this size.
Right.
Now,
And Andrew McCutcheon also, can we say this? 32 years old, right? Worst season ever. He just got a 3-year, $50 million contract.
They don't give 32-year-olds in the NFL $50 million skill.
And that's really my point. So if you can look past the whole idea of going to the minor leagues for a couple years and you know, getting seasoned or whatever, it's a no-brainer. Take baseball. It's good for your health. It's good for your pocketbook. And I don't know how you lose, especially when you talk about the A's were willing to give him $5 million. They really believe that he's one of those guys. They don't just give away money just to give away money.
Well, forget the $5 million. They allowed him to go play football. They could have said, nah, you come in here. You got our money. It's going to come on here. For me, and if all things are equal, I go play baseball. But we've never seen a player that have this kind of dilemma, Skip, because guess what? Him winning the Heisman, it says he's the best college football player in America. They drafted him as a top 10. That says he's one of the best baseball players in America. And he's saying, like, because here's the thing, it's going to be pulling at him, and he's going to have to face this no matter what sport he chooses. He's always going to wonder, man, if he doesn't play football, I think I could have played in the NFL. If he played football, I think I could have played in the majors.
Sure.
But guess what? Alabama gonna help you out. Because they're gonna put that thing on him on December 29th. He gonna say, I don't want these problems. Because Alabama, that's like right below an NFL team.
Yep.
And you gonna get them one time, and you gonna be done. See, in the NFL, you got 16 of those things. So Alabama gonna make his decision a lot easier for us. So you ain't gotta worry about it. After old St. Nick defense get it, because you know, Skip, you know we got old Damon Williams and Raekwon Davis. Woo! Skip, you know we had 4 first-team All-American. 4 first-team All-American.
Yep. That's why Kyler won the Heisman, because he didn't have anybody else.
Well, we're going to show you why he shouldn't have won the Heisman. Because if he'd have faced a defense like this, he wouldn't have had them kind of touchdowns. But we're going to make the decision for him.
Kyler Murray dragged the worst great team defense in the history of college football all the way to the playoffs. It was stunning to see what he pulled off, which is why I'm here to tell you, Kyler Murray will never be as happy playing baseball as he would be if he played football. There's nothing like the rush of playing quarterback in football. There's just nothing like it. There's nothing like the rush of a game day Saturday or a game day Sunday. And I hear everything you guys just said about it's smarter to play baseball. It's smarter, it's long-term, it's healthier, it's less dangerous, less injurious. I get all of the above. This kid can play in the NFL. I believe he can be Russell Wilson, at least as good as Russell Wilson.
What about Manziel? Is he not more like that because of his size? I'm just asking. His stature?
Maybe. And again, I don't think he's as tall as Johnny, but he's close to Russell. Russell was 5'10 and a half. He's 5'10-ish maybe. Although
I'm looking
maybe
at it right
5'9", maybe 5'9". I don't know.
That's a little guy in the NFL playing quarterback.
Little running guys don't last long at the quarterback position.
But you spoke of dilemma. Here's the dilemma to me for Kyler Murray. So he played 2 years of college baseball at Oklahoma. He was a high school star, but we have to discount some of that on competition. But he played in the Big 12 2 years, 27 games first year, 51 games last year. Never lit it up. Even the first year was he hit 122 in 27 games the first year. Second year, last year, he hit 296 with 13 doubles, 10 home runs, 47 RBIs. Okay, but Billy Beane is seeing flashes of potential.
Yes.
But not performance, because he didn't make all Big 12, he didn't make all American. He's not a college baseball star.
No.
So you can't say, oh, look what he dominated. He did not dominate college baseball.
No.
You're betting on the come. You're saying, oh, but the speed is rare now. It's rare. He can cover enormous ground in center field, and he doesn't have just a good arm. He's got a plus arm.
Now, he wasn't, Skip, I know you probably Pete Incaviglia at Oklahoma State. He wasn't one of those.
I covered him with the Rangers for years. I know him very well.
He wasn't a phenom like Josh Hamilton coming out of high school, or Griffey Jr.
No.
A-Rod. He's no.
Okay, so there's some X factor here of, are you sure?
You're right.
Are you sure? And again, Billy Beane has said we're going to try to fast track him, maybe a couple of years in the minors.
Right, because he understands that, because he has that NFL thing there. So you want to tell a kid, you're not going to get buried in the minors. If you show any potential there, we'll move you ahead. But look at some of the greatest guys who played football and baseball. Deion and Bo Jackson. And remember, if we go back, Dave Winfield was drafted by the NBA, ABA, NFL, and Major League Baseball.
Tony Gwynn also.
Right? And he picked what? Baseball, played 20 years, was a Hall of Famer. And I don't even think, I don't think he went to the minor leagues.
Dave Winfield?
Yeah, or if he did, it was like a cup of coffee.
Phenom.
No, he was one of those guys.
But you see,
But he was 3 sports.
No, I know.
But Big Dave. But here's the thing. You know who Kyler Murray, Skip? And this is what Charlie Ward. Charlie Ward won the Heisman. He was a good basketball player. He wasn't not even on the radar. He's like, man, y'all know they're going to give me a chance.
They didn't even draft him, right.
So he said, you know what, I'm going to the NBA. But I believe...
I do know, because I was close to Paul Hackett, who was at Kansas City. They loved Charlie Ward, and they would have taken him, but he just flat out said, I'm going to play basketball.
Right.
So that was out.
So I still believe deep down he probably think, man, I could have played in it. I could have played in the NFL.
Okay.
Because he's the best. I mean, he's the best college player. I mean, if you're the best at something, you want to see.
How lucky was Russell Wilson to get baseball out of his system? Because he went and said, I'm going to do this.
Right.
And he tried it.
He wasn't good.
And he played second base, but he couldn't hit. I'm sure he was fine defensively, but he just couldn't hit.
Right.
And it was proven to him, with beyond shadow of doubt.
Exactly.
You can't do this. So he got a late start to go back to school and wound up, obviously, at Wisconsin. North Carolina State to Wisconsin.
Danny Ainge was the same thing.
Okay.
Remember, he was a third baseman for the Blue Jays.
Okay, but he
couldn't hit.
Okay, but he started for the Blue Jays for
Right.
several years, so that was really juggling.
John Elway.
Okay.
Got drafted by the Yankees.
Okay, but he just said, I want to play football, right?
Yeah, he only threatened to play baseball when the coach said.
But they weren't right.
Right. The coach drafted him. He said, I won't play. I'm going to play baseball.
Okay.
But Skip, I mean, you're a Heisman Trophy winner. You're a top 10 baseball pick. And the difference between Bo, Brian, Jordan, and Deion, they didn't play quarterback. See, when you play Bo, toss right, toss left, hand off right, hand off left. Deion.
You can't split your time. You can't. If you're a quarterback, it has to be all year.
You got to be all the way in.
Yeah.
And when Deion played you, man, you got that man time.
Well, all the evaluators are saying that Kyler Murray is going to be a first-round pick. Maybe later first round, but he's going to be a first-round pick. So he's going to get a chance to be a starting quarterback.
Skip, I mean, 5'9", running quarterbacks. How long?
He can wing it, man.
Andrew McCutcheon at 32 got $50 million after hitting 255, Skip.
Okay.
What NFL player gonna get 32 gonna get $50 million?
Can money buy happiness? I'm just saying.
It really-
The NFL is now America's national pastime. Am
Don't
I right?
say that. No, it's
well,
not.
It is.
It is.
It is not.
It is too.
It is
It
not.
is.
It
Money
is
can't buy
not. How
happiness.
can 4 months be a national pastime? Stop it.
I would be. You know what?
It's not.
Rob, let me ask you a question. Would you rather be happy on the bus or sad in a Rolls Royce? Cause me, I'm gonna be sad. I'll be pouting in the road. Old dirty road make me sick.
I want to be happy on the bus.
Hey, you okay? Okay.
He is happy on the bus. But he
And when the bus break down and don't run, what you gonna say?
Hey,
Don't worry about no Skip. All this will be taken care of. The day after they play Alabama, he gonna be headed down to spring training.
he'll change
He
his
gonna be
mind.
headed down to Florida. Where they play? Naples? I mean, where they play at?
I think the A's are in the
Arizona?
Cactus League.
So they're in Arizona. Scottsdale. So don't worry about it.
They are in Scottsdale.
Yeah, we're gonna get him. We're gonna get him on down there for you. Get him on down there. Now he might.
You're talking big and bad when I got the worst defense in college football. My pass defense was 129th of 130
Whoa.
teams.
No, you got
so
the Heisman
the
Trophy
Heisman runner-up is going to have a field day against that defense.
You got
Am
the
I right?
Heisman Trophy winner, which means you tell me the best player should always be able to win a game. That's what he tells us about LeBron. LeBron's the best player, so he should
only
win.
5 people play at one time. Can Kyler play safety or corner? Hey, you know
Just
what? They
score
ought to
everything.
let Kyler play corner in this game.
Yeah, put him on.
Put
Jerry
him on
Judy.
Judge Judy.
Judge Judy. Yeah. Hey, Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
You tell me. I mean, he got the Heisman. Enjoy it, cause it's gonna be a while before he's able to pick it up.
Well,
cause
I
we
know.
gonna put pain on him.
Okay, so that was the consolation prize for Alabama is you're going to come out with blood in your eyes and they're going to take it out on poor little Kyler, right? So I give you that. They should win by 35, 40, whatever. They can name a score.
I'm like Mr. T. You see Clubber Lang and Rocket.
I'm going to say
What's your prediction, Rob?
I'm going to say Kyler winds up in the major leagues in 3 years, and I think he goes the baseball route, and he gets over the football thing. I get it.
How old is he?
I don't know. He's been there 2 years.
years,
But
what?
remember, he went to A&M for a year
Right.
and it didn't work.
Probably 23 or something like that.
No, he's not that.
No,
21.
21.
21.
Okay, so if he goes baseball, you can come back to football. You go football, you ain't going back to baseball.
Well, there was Tim Tebow. Yeah.
Oh, no, see.
But Tim Tebow, what you call it?
that
Skip, you
I got you. I got you
Experiment.
And you
good.
know what? That should be Exhibit A on why he shouldn't do it. Tim Tebow was a star quarterback in college.
Yeah.
Right?
And then he won a playoff
No,
game
and
for
he
the
went
Denver
to and he went to
Broncos.
football and it didn't pan out, right?
It panned out.
It didn't pan
He won
out.
the
Skip.
division.
Don't do
He
it,
won a
Kyler
playoff
Murray.
game.
Don't follow the Tim Tebow. Go to baseball
Tebow
from
beat-
day one.
Beat Ben Roethlisberger.
He did.
Who just lost to who? Case Keenum. Who just lost to Derek Carr.
Ben Roethlisberger, who has 2 Super Bowl rings.
Oh, my
really?
goodness.
The
You know
Pittsburgh Steelers?
I'm ordering my A season tickets right now for 3 years from
Are
now.
you? Well, you're going to be out there with like 3 other people.
Exactly.
Rob doesn't care.
But Skip, here's the thing. He needs to go. Scott Boras.
Yeah.
Put his name on the line.
No,
He did.
that's it.
That's it. See, this ain't got nothing to do with him because he can say, I'm going to play football.
He took
This
the
Scott-
money.
This Scott Boras' reputation.
I know, but did Kyler wake up when the season started and say, I'm going to go win the Heisman this year? No.
The man gave his word. You're only good as your word, Skip Bayless. You gave me your word. I said, Skip, if I come join you out here, I'm going to have a job for more than a year. You said, I give you my word. Now, if you'd have got rid of me at a year, Skip, it'd have been some problem.
That's true. I I told you Baker Mayfield can play pro football, and you're like, hey, he's too little. He didn't have a big enough arm.
Skip, he littler than Baker. He way littler.
And he's a lot quicker. And Baker moves pretty good, but not like this kid.
Whew. Skip, he's 4'7" tall.
He can fling it. He can fling it. There was this kid named Doug Flutie once upon a time.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. Rob, thank you for joining us.
No problem. Always a pleasure.
Inside welcome as always. And this was such
Baseball's a national pastime.
No,
this
it's
was
not.
such a hot topic earlier. We're bringing it back again. Did Kevin Durant take a shot at LeBron James?
Yep.
We'll discuss that
Yeah,
coming up
he took
next
a
with
shot.
Steven Jackson.
No mercy.
Kevin Durant is a two-time NBA champ and regular season and finals MVP, and now we may know what makes him tick. Listen to this. KD recently said that he is, quote, a student of the game and watches hours of video of past, current, and future NBA players. He highlighted 3 players saying Kobe, MJ, and Kyrie. Just the way they move. I don't understand why people don't realize what they're seeing in these 3, especially Jordan and Kobe. Kyrie is younger than me, and that's one of my best friends, so I watch his stuff. But watching Kobe and Mike, I'm like, how do you not realize how good these dudes are? How do you not say they're by far better than anybody who's played the game? Everybody that comes over to my house, whether it's friends or family, I make them watch Jordan highlights. This is equivalent to Einstein bleeping Beethoven or Obama. This is the greatest talent and athletes and minds of the world. They're masters, they're geniuses. All right, so for more, we're joined now by FS1 NBA analyst Steven Jackson. Steven, welcome, number 1.
We got Port Arthur, Texas in the house.
And she has on the Texas chain.
Yeah, we got that.
yes,
we got
yes.
them Dallas Cowboys. How about them
Cowboys.
Cowboys, Shannon? How about it, Shannon?
I'm a Cowboy fan. Die hard.
Let's just scrap this Kevin Durant topic and
Close
talk
to
some
Houston,
Cowboys.
You got on Cowboy colors.
You close to Houston
Yeah,
and you're a
he's-
Cowboy.
he's
You
coming
bypassed the Oilers.
When the Oilers left and went to Tennessee, I was already a Cowboy fan.
I know.
So I stayed Cowboys. I didn't switch
Yeah.
when Texas came.
Port Arthur. Here
Yes,
we go.
yes.
Back to these crazy comments now,
Yes.
Stephen, by Kevin Durant. He highlighted Einstein, Beethoven, Obama, MJ, Kobe. Is there a name missing here that you notice?
I know why a name's missing, and I know why he didn't say LeBron James. When we speak of the 2 best players in the league, who we talk about? Kevin Durant and LeBron James. So if I'm still in the league and I'm competing with someone to be the best in the league, I'm not going to give them all them props at this moment because we're still building our legacies. I understand when he says that about Kobe and Jordan. Two more relentless guys in the league. They played, they wanted to win. Nobody wanted to win more than these 2 guys. Nobody played harder. Nobody dominated more. And I'm a fan of Kyrie as well. The things he can do on the court at his size, if you're a basketball lover, if you study the game, then you will love a guy like Kyrie. So I totally understand why he didn't say LeBron. Me and KD had conversations about LeBron. Nobody speaks highly about LeBron off camera like KD does. So I know it's not a shot at LeBron. I just know that they're both at the top of the league, and I can't give a guy those props right now when I'm battling him to be the best in this game.
So why would he throw Kyrie into that?
Because that's just like saying if he was playing with another team, or he was playing with Kyrie, and he would say Steph. He can't say a guy on his team. It's somebody that he really looks up to or a guy that he really likes. And Kyrie has a flashy game. He has a nice game, and he has that same Kobe mentality when he plays. So it's just a situation where he's a fan of Kyrie, that's all.
Yeah, but you know what he said? Mozart. He forgot off one. Bach. Renoir.
No, he said Beethoven.
Yeah, but what about Bach? Give me Bach.
Give me Bach?
Yeah, give me Renoir. Degas. Monet. Yeah, that's who that is.
Who?
That's 6'9" from Akron.
Are you kidding me?
That's who that is. Yeah. We ain't got all that flat. We see what we do. We put on steel toe boots. You with Beaumont and Port Arthur. You know about them steel toe boots.
Yes.
We got a guy that wears steel toe boots. We got a guy that wears a hard hat, and he get one of them on hard pails, and he goes to work. His game ain't flashy. It ain't like, oh man, I wish I could bowl over people like LeBron. He has a more football game than graceful ballet like Kobe and Mike. He can't pat the ball and handle it like Kyrie. Rod Strickland had handles like that. There are guys.
You just went Rod Strickland in this discussion?
Rod Strickland can't.
I know.
Crazy handles.
I know his handles. I covered him.
I get all that.
Yeah.
And I get it, KD. You know, I'm still mad about KD talking about it's toxic. KD talking about, I'm talking about the fanboy media. KD want fanboys too. But if you stay off the internet trolling, letting people get up on his skin. But I'm not here no that. I'm talking about this.
I think you just made it here.
No, I'm talking about LeBron.
Yeah.
You ain't got to give us no praise. You ain't got to heap no praise on us. We got the crown. we're universally regarded as the baddest man on the planet. And you can't get that title not when you play with a 2-time league MVP.
But what crown would you rather?
What?
The best in the league or the NBA championship?
LeBron ain't got none of those?
No, I'm saying, I'm talking about now. We talking about back-to-back. We ain't talking about 2-3 years ago. We talking about now, as of today.
Even though he got those, he's still not regarded better than LeBron. And he the last 2 finals MVP.
Yeah, but when you talk about the best players in the league, you got to put KD up.
What happened when those 14 games that Steph Curry missed? Where was your boy then?
When we talk about the end of the season, a lot of stuff happened during the season. What happened to Cleveland last year when LeBron was there during the season? They sucked.
Hold on. So are you telling me if LeBron had Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond, that Kevin Durant would have knocked him off with Cleveland?
If was a fifth,
hey, exactly. That's why he got up out of OKC.
Right.
He couldn't do nothing with Bron Skip. Nobody could.
Right. Nobody can do nothing with him now. I say that.
So of all these comparisons that Kevin made and that you embellished on to impress everybody with your vast knowledge,
I was lost, Skip. I had no idea what he was talking about.
Renoir.
Degas. Monet.
Yeah, it was over my head with
There's only one name on this list that applies to LeBron James. Only one, and it's Einstein. He is Einstein. He is the basketball Einstein.
Yeah.
He has the highest basketball IQ, I think, in the history of basketball. I know Magic's in that discussion. We could go on Bird, whoever. But LeBron, to me, is at the top of that list. But all the other ones are artists. And there's not enough artistry in LeBron's game to qualify to be compared to all the artists, because Kevin is talking about rare genius. It's creative genius.
Right, correct.
And I can't give that to Einstein. And I don't know, he threw Obama in there, who's one of the greatest leaders in the history of the world, but on creativity, we can't throw him in as an artist.
Right.
But anyway, but he's just throwing all the names out.
Right.
And because he's talking about true greatness.
Right.
And first of all, I got to say this. Kevin's awfully naive here because he's saying, how do you not realize these dudes are that good? And he's talking about MJ and Kobe. Well, we all do.
Right. We all do.
Who missed that?
We all do. Right.
Does anybody need to be told, wait a second, check out this MJ guy. He was really great.
But sometimes people do disrespect Kobe a lot. When they get into talking about the greats, they do disrespect Kobe.
I got you. But if you just go to YouTube and look at the highlights and say, that's rare.
Right.
Okay, and LeBron can't do that. We're talking about breathtaking shot making.
Right.
That's not LeBron's thing. He's freight train. He's locomotive. He is as great a power driver of the basketball as we've ever seen.
Right.
But it's not artistry.
Right,
Except
correct.
for the passing. That's just genius to me. That's like God's gift. Like you can't coach it. You can't teach it.
IQ.
He can see it and feel it before it happens. LeBron makes 2 or 3 passes a night with these kids on the Lakers, where I just say, that is unbelievably great there. That pass.
Now if we can just get JaVale to finish him.
Okay, but again, JaVale has not been used to getting hit in the face with the basketball when he least expected.
True.
Right? So to me, Kevin he left LeBron out because that's his chief rival, but you can't tell me that Kevin Durant doesn't think he's better than LeBron James. So again, he left him out on purpose because he just believes he's better. Do you think in his heart of hearts he thinks he's better?
Well,
he's
should.
He's a better shot maker.
I mean, LeBron thinks he's better than KD, so he should. He thinks so.
No lie spoken in your statement.
Right.
LeBron better than KD. No lie spoken.
Haven't you admitted that the 7-foot monster who's Kevin Durant is the greatest tall shooter?
Yeah,
I know Dirk's in there somewhere, but we've never
Dirk's
seen
definitely
this.
in there.
He's in there.
But see, Dirk wasn't putting the ball on the floor, driving the ball to the basket. Dirk was just going to shoot that step back. But see, and you mentioned artistry. LeBron James is not going and start on one side of the basket and come up underneath on the other side of the basket.
He has.
But like Kobe and the thing that Mike was doing, leaning sideways, dunking.
Man.
I mean, we hadn't seen that before, Skip, and that was,
I told you, I had the privilege, the honor of covering him in Chicago, Michael Jordan, and every night I would sit there, and say, I haven't seen that. And then the next night I'd say, I haven't seen that. Because the explosive athleticism was off the charts. No one could do that. Plus, you know how hard it is to palm a basketball while you're in motion. It's hard. You don't have the huge hands, but Michael Jordan handled a basketball like it was a tennis ball.
Yes.
He could do this.
All this over the guy, waving around all around the guy's head. And he got guys, John Stockton, they got one, he's trying to jump and get the ball out of his hand. I'm like, man, stop jumping. I mean, you look bad.
Yeah.
But that's okay, Skip. LeBron K.D, you don't do all that palming, but I tell you what. Man, what you need?
That's Cam Newton basketball.
Let me ask you a question, Skip. What you need? You need 15 rebounds? I get it. What you need? 40 points? I get it.
So
what you need? 12 assists? I get it.
You know who in the end these comments are aimed at the most? You.
There it is.
You. Because what he's saying is, he's basically saying, Kevin, how dare you put LeBron in the conversation with Michael Jordan? That's what he's saying.
Yes.
Because how dare you? I'm asking you that right now. How dare you?
Guess what? First of all, we already got him in playoff scoring. We already got him in most double-figure games. We about to pass him in points. We just
do I have to pull it out again?
When you talk about players, that you've never seen before, you got to throw LeBron in there.
Yeah.
You know, you got because I've never seen a
Carl
guard.
Malone with Magic Johnson passing.
Yeah,
that's what he is.
He's special, man. He's special.
That's what he is, Skip.
But what did you say earlier? It's hard hat basketball.
Yeah.
It's blue collar.
Yeah.
Right? It's bullish. It's
KD
brutish.
a unicorn too, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
KD's a unicorn too. No question.
He's just a unicorn. But the ultimate unicorn was that 23 in Chicago. The
question.
original 23.
I
The
know
only
original.
23.
Stop it,
The
Skip.
only
You
23.
trying to put everything original.
Did you see the shoes?
But old Bach,
Huh?
Johan
You know
Sebastian.
nothing about
Johan? What about Claude Monet?
Yeah. What about it?
I know.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You realize he wasn't a composer, he was a painter.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Just for the record,
Yes,
I just want to make sure. I'm not sure he knows.
Thank you.
I do know. But he's talking about great art. So is painting is not an art?
Yes, it is.
Just for the
Is classical music, is composing music, is it not art?
Yes.
Huh? I'm just making sure that we know. Of course we know that, Skip.
He's just saying, how dare you? You can't even start with LeBron versus Michael. And do I have to tell you one more time? Michael Jordan went 6-0 in finals with 6 MVPs. That's it. That's ultimate, case closed, over and out.
And
Thank you very much.
Player of the year.
And he won defense in the
And got
hold up, just stop.
And got swept in the first round until he got Scotty.
at age Shannon
What?
Sharpe.
I got swept in the first round.
Stop
and
it.
couldn't get past the big three until they started walking in walking chairs. And canes. Larry Bird got old. Kevin McHale's knees got so bad they called him kickstand. Knee turned like that right there. And what about the bad boy Pistons? What did they do to him?
They were good. He got beat by a good team.
There was a book written about what they had to do to him.
So I guess the Golden State Warriors trash.
No, LeBron got beat by a good team too.
What about San Antonio? Which team did Michael Jordan beat in that 6-for-6 run can match with Golden State?
It's not too many teams in history.
Okay, then. Okay. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. He couldn't beat the big... Hold on. You mean to tell me the GOAT couldn't beat the big three Celtics? Why not? Because great teams will beat a great individual.
So Michael Jordan...
should have kept Kyrie.
Wait a second. Michael Jordan won 10 scoring titles to LeBron's 1?
If he wanted, like you tell me, if he wanted to win. But see, LeBron can't do just scoring.
Interesting.
LeBron got to facilitate. LeBron got to get everybody else involved.
You know what separates Jordan and LeBron, man? That killer mentality.
Killer.
And Kobe had more of that than LeBron. Kobe had more.
Assassin. LeBron just wasn't born with the assassin in him. He just doesn't have it.
See, y'all get
He's still great, but he just didn't have that killer
LeBron's
mentality.
just a really nice guy. He is. He's a really nice guy. I give you that.
And be
go.
putting buckets.
He's a good actor.
Everybody keep talking about, Kevin Durant score. Who have a higher scoring average? Kevin Durant or LeBron James?
LeBron.
Why is that? He's not a scorer. Who averaged more rebounds per game? Kevin Durant or LeBron?
Who said LeBron out of score?
Who do you want taking the last shot,
No,
Shannon?
who said that, Skip? Whoever said that?
Yeah.
I want LeBron with the ball because I know he's going to do the right thing.
Oh,
You can never do wrong if you do it right.
And he'll even throw it to Kyle Korver when he should take the shot.
That is correct. He will. And he will do anything in his high IQ mentality to avoid the late game free throw line.
Took that shot.
He will run from the free throw line.
Like George threw that ball to Steve Kerr, huh? George should have took that shot.
Yeah.
Called it.
He should have took that shot. George should have took that shot, right?
Called it in the huddle.
But why didn't he?
Because Steve Kerr was going to make it.
Oh, yeah, make him mislead, right?
Kyle Korver didn't make it. It's the difference.
But no. You can't base a decision on the outcome.
Yes, you can. Because that's
Shannon,
what
you know
lasts. The
it's wrong.
outcome lasts.
No,
Nobody forget the loser. We already
but you can't make it. Well, he might miss it, so I ain't gonna pass it to him. You got to make the right decision.
Shannon!
Everybody can't make a shot in the first quarter.
How can you defend LeBron at the late game clutch free throw line? He's a disaster. He's a disaster.
What happened? What happened on Monday night?
He's playing his big brother Dwayne.
Don't do that, Skip Bayless. What happened? Did he make those clutch free throws?
Yeah, and for the game, he was 4 out of 8.
In Game 7 of the NBA Finals, did he make that free throw that made it a 4-point game, Skip?
Yeah,
Steve, we like you so much. Please
big.
stick around.
That's clutch.
I will.
Next segment. All right, we'll continue this madness as Stephen stays in that chair. Coming up next, will Kawhi Leonard be on the court tonight against the Warriors?
Get him, Kawhi.
Straight ahead. Stay right here.
I hope he plays.
No mercy.
We got a big showdown in the NBA tonight. The Raptors have the best record in the league, and they'll be at Golden State. Last night, Toronto blew out the Clippers, and they did it without Kawhi Leonard, who may not play tonight. The Warriors have won 4 straight, and they finally have Durant, Draymond, Curry, and Clay all healthy. And for more, Stephen Jackson still with us. Stephen, do you give the Raptors a shot tonight?
Without Kawhi, yes, because this team plays hard. I think they're one of the deepest teams in the league, and they understand how to come into a game and just give effort and try to play harder than the other team. I think that's why they've been having so much success at the beginning of the season, because this is one of the teams that plays hard from 1 through 10. Everybody that come in the game, they plays hard and give the same effort, and they're playing for each other, and you can see that. But Golden State, everybody should start getting frightened. Everybody should start putting security alarms on their TVs and everything, because the Warriors are coming back, and they're about to be scary. Clay's averaging the most points he's ever averaged as being a starter in Golden State. You got the 3 guys, Draymond, Steph, and KD coming. Are they all right? Big fella's starting to work out.
He is.
Yep.
That's scary. It's just going to be hard to see anybody beating this team come long term, but it's definitely going to be harder for Toronto to beat them without Kawhi.
Yeah. Only if Kawhi's out there.
Right.
Although Siakam is playing unbelievable, Anunoby is playing well. They got Valanciunas coming off the bench now. He's playing well. Serge Ibaka, I don't know what happened to him, but all of a sudden, Serge Ibaka's found his game like he had early in his career in OKC. But they're not beating Golden State. Now, it took them to it took overtime to beat them in Toronto with Kawhi. Kawhi had 37. KD had a monster game, had 51. But that was minus Steph.
Minus Steph.
Steph is a different animal. Steph coming back getting he launching threes. I mean, it ain't fair. I'm mad. I'm mad because it ain't fair. You shouldn't be able to shoot the ball like Steph Curry can shoot the ball. Nobody has ever had. I mean, Steph Curry's three-point shot is like Kareem's, getting like Kareem's skyhook. It's unstoppable. It is not fair, Skip Bayless.
You got Kyle Kuzma.
See,
You do.
You got Joe.
You got Josh Hart.
You know what's good for Steph? The time he got hurt, he got strong. If you look at him, he didn't got a lot strong. He didn't put on a little size, and his shot looks stronger.
But they can't be. No. If Kawhi, it would be good. They do play hard. I give them that. I mean, I didn't expect them to blow out L.A., the Clippers, like they did last night. But we've seen them play really, really well, Skip, without Kawhi. They blew the Lakers out without Kawhi.
Did they?
But the Lakers is one thing. That team up there in the Bay.
My turn. So I know that guy up in Toronto who used to play in San Antonio.
What his name? Say his name.
Number 2 to me. And he'll always be number 2 to me. Only number 2.
You know what? You ought to be ashamed.
I'm not ashamed because he should be ashamed.
What'd he do?
He's sitting out again with some contusion, like bruise.
Yeah,
he sat out all last year with a bruised thigh. I've never heard of that before.
Got to look at the big pictures.
Big picture?
Yeah.
He played 9 games last year, total of 9 games, and the rest he missed because he had a thigh bruise.
Stop.
He had a thigh bruise, and I'm never going to forgive him. I just can't. I'm sorry.
You got DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah,
you got
I guess so.
Jakob Poeltl.
Yeah. Yakum. Yeah. He's had his moments. He beat the Lakers the other night.
Like Destiny Child say his name, say his name.
I'm not going to say his name ever again on
Kawhi.
this show. I will never say it. And people are chanting, MVP,
Yeah.
MVP. Yeah, he plays every other night. You're disqualified.
Oh,
You're out.
You know what I like to see, Skip? Sometimes he get the ball like this here, and he have it in one hand.
He-
that thing I
now,
like
he-
this here.
he can
have it
do
like
what
this.
Jordan did with the-
He got the ball like that. I said, get him.
Definitely.
Get him, Kawhi. I said,
Get
do
him.
something special, because I know
Yeah.
Skip watching.
Yeah.
Three-pointer.
And yet, isn't it something that when he doesn't play, they're 6-1,
Yeah.
and they're winning those 6 games by an average of 14 points a game, and they blew the Lakers off the Staples floor with no number 2.
That effort.
Right? You believe in that? And then the Clippers have been rolling, man, and they go in there last night, same building. no number 2, and they blow him out because Serge Ibaka turns into Kevin Durant without him. I don't know what's happening.
Yep.
He used to have flashes of this in Oklahoma City, especially against the Spurs and one
Well, then
playoff.
why couldn't y'all do that? You had Denny Green and you had
Did you just call him Denny Green?
I mean, Danny Green.
How quickly we forget.
Right.
Danny Green. You had Danny Green and Tony Parker and Manu.
Yeah.
What happened? Why you couldn't win without Kawhi? Why y'all need Kawhi?
Why he used to be our star.
He was a star.
Right?
And guess
He was
what?
it.
He the star in Toronto.
They built the whole thing around him.
Okay.
Hey, but what's good for Serge Ibaka is now he's not a 4-man. He's a center.
Yeah.
So he's basically faster than any center he'll face every night. So he's able to put the ball down sometimes and go around him. And the shots that he's getting on threes, that center can't close out to that. So he's getting a lot of open looks, looks that he wasn't getting last year.
I think Toronto's making a statement without number 2. They're saying, hey, we're pretty good without him.
Okay, keep on talking now.
Well, I
You
give
know
him
what
a
happened
shot tonight.
You know what happened last time? Somebody kept talking about the San Antonio didn't need him.
Yeah.
Had begging, knocking on his door, begging for him to come home.
Well, Toronto ain't thinking about Golden State. They thinking about that other animal in the East, and that's Boston. So they thinking about we got to keep Kawhi.
They already done kicked 5 from
but
him.
it's going to be a different team in that
Kick
7-game
five.
series.
Kick 5 from
It's
him.
different. It's a different.
What they
team.
gonna do? See, Kawhi can lock down everybody.
He can't
on
guard
Boston.
everybody at one time.
No, but I would say, don't worry about that. We got Siakam. We got a Nunavut. Baby Dinosaur.
Siakam playing good.
Baby
Wait,
Dinosaur.
now you're a we on Toronto?
If they beat
Really?
the Celtics, yeah. I don't want Kyrie to get nothing.
Celtics? I am not writing off the Philadelphia 76ers
Me
because
neither.
they have the best player in the Eastern Conference, and his name is Joel Embiid.
But he unhappy.
Yeah, he was, but I think Jimmy Butler
not
made it
unhappy.
right. I think he made peace.
He's not unhappy.
So why you say that?
He was unhappy because he wasn't playing well and they was losing.
Okay. So why you say that? He never said that before.
He said he was trash too. He never said that before either.
Oh, what about Karl Anthony Towns? What he
What
say?
about him?
What he say?
He said Jimmy Butler's a great teammate.
Oh, that what he said?
That's all I
that
heard.
That what he say?
Yeah.
What did he say privately?
I didn't talk to him.
Yeah.
Has Jimmy Butler already made some big late shots?
Oh, Jimmy, he was 2-game winner.
2-game winner?
2-game winner. Oh, Jimmy Buckets. I like Jimmy Buckets.
Yeah.
But he gonna have to see. He got to see 2-3. You remember what 2-3 did to him last time, Skip?
Yeah.
You remember?
Well,
Not only
you're
did
saying
he
the Lakers can get to the
block
finals?
this shot. Oh no, when he was in Cleveland, remember he blocked this shot?
Yeah.
And then came around and faced him up.
He did. Yeah, that was rare.
Don't do that, Skip.
Yeah.
And he just did. Hey,
Philly's scary with Jimmy Butler though.
Oh yeah, they are.
They scary.
Yeah.
But until Ben Simmons get a jump shot, they never gonna maximize their potential.
I disagree. I think they just got to run more post-up plays for him.
I'm with
Everybody
you.
that guard him is smaller. And if he realized that all he have to do is take a dribble or two and just lay it up over every guard that guard him, he don't have to get a jump
What
shot.
he gonna do when Kawhi get him?
When
Kawhi get him?
One of the best dribblers of all time, and people always speak of his game, he couldn't shoot that well, but nobody could stop him. Shamgar. He has moves named after him to this day.
Man, Shamgar, stop it.
But they backed up off him, and he still got to the rack. He was a dominant college player. What I'm saying that to say, Ben Simmons, just post up. Don't worry about his jump shot.
He can't post up on Kawhi.
Why he
You
can't?
remember what Kawhi did?
Ben Simmons can post anybody up. He's 6'9".
Well, all I know is Kawhi forced him into 11 turnovers.
Kawhi do that to everybody.
And he don't do that, you know who? He don't do that, you know who?
Oh, he didn't locked up you know who before.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
He locked him up. He averaged 28, 7, and 8. He locked him up, locked him down.
He locked him up.
So now I turned you into a number 2 fan?
What?
Is that what we're
fast,
saying here?
yeah.
I never heard this before.
Oh, that show enough?
Huh?
Oh, show enough. Who's the
Really?
best?
That's what you call him so enough?
Oh, Skip, man. Skip, why you mad at the man?
Mad at him?
You said
I'm done with him. I'm not mad at him. I don't even want to.
You said you didn't want him anymore. You said he couldn't fill the role of Tim Duncan. He wasn't the leader.
Well, he
Pop
wasn't.
said he wasn't the leader.
He wasn't.
He said, well, good. I'm going over here to Toronto and lead.
Okay. Well, good luck. he
Stop hating.
leads every.
That's how we going to start.
You gotta stop hating.
And
Good
Stephen,
luck.
good luck to you, too.
Thank
you
you,
for
thank
being
you,
here. Always
thank
a
you.
pleasure. We'll see
Thank
you again
you.
soon.
You a hater, Skip.
All right, coming up next, we have big breaking Carson Wentz news.
Yep,
you don't
we
want to
do.
miss a second of it. Back after this, yeah.
Yep.
No mercy.
We have breaking news. NFL Network is reporting Carson Wentz is not expected to play on Sunday against the Rams because of a back injury. And depending on test results, Wentz could sit out the rest of the season. The Eagles are 6-7 and still in the playoff hunt currently. Shannon, what's your reaction to this news?
I'm surprised. But then again, I guess they do not believe that the Cowboys are going to lose their last 3. and they went out and win this division. They're not getting in as a wild card. The only way they can make it to the playoffs, Skip, is to win the division. And they don't believe the Cowboys will go 0 for 3, and they be 3-0. And so they're going to err on the side of caution. That Carson Wentz back stiffened up on him at some point, be it last game, maybe it's something that he's been dealing with. But I don't blame them. I would err on the side of caution. But it's hard for me to believe that if they thought they had a chance, or if Carson Wentz, if they were in reverse roles with the Cowboys, they had a 2-game lead. It's hard for me to believe that Carson Wentz wouldn't be playing. But they're going to do it to test. They're going to get the MRI, and hopefully they don't have the antiquated equipment that they have in Oakland, and they'll get a definitive answer by the end of the day, or at least by tomorrow. But this is disappointing ending for this team that had a very disappointing season, given what happened at the culmination of last year.
So it's also possible that Philly got just desperate enough that they said, you know, we got the Super Bowl MVP standing on the sideline.
I knew you was going to do that.
And they said, you know, we might have a little better chance if we throw Nick Foles in there. Where did he have his coming out? It was at the Coliseum against the Rams a year ago.
It wasn't no coming out, walking to him through 4 touchdowns. He came in and made one big throw, Skip, on the 3rd down.
He did.
And now you want to say
he saved the game.
So you know what's going to happen? I know what you're going to do. I know what you're going to try to do, Skip Bayless.
What?
You're going to try to do Nick Foles win a couple of games, and you're going to say, see, I told you. If they'd have had Nick Foles.
I'm already telling you now. I told you before the season started.
No, I want you to stop this, Skip. Stop it right now.
I already started. I told you before the season started, in the history of the National Football League, no team had ever faced a dilemma, a conflict like Philly was about to face. Carson Wentz coming off knee surgery, shaky during the preseason, not sure that he was ready to go, and Nick Foles holding a clipboard on the sideline, having played 2 of the greatest playoff games I've ever witnessed, the NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl. He outdueled Tom Brady in the Super Bowl to be MVP, and now he's standing on the sideline while Carson Wentz, with the weight of Eagle Nation on his shoulder pads, having to live up to that. It wasn't fair. I told you it wasn't fair to this kid. So Carson Wentz has never taken a single snap in one postseason game, and all of a sudden, everything's riding on Carson. They got to repeat with Carson, who didn't do any of that.
He will next year.
Yeah, next year.
Yep.
Well, maybe this year they're saying we still got a shot.
No.
It's a long shot, but it's a shot.
It ain't no
Let's
shot.
see what we got with Nick Foles. Let's see, should we reinvest in Nick? Should we see if the offense looks a little different with him running it? All those zone reads and all the play action that Foles looked a little more adept at, a little more adroit at than Carson
But
did.
you'll see, because guess what? He'd be 2 years. He'd be over a year and a half removed from that knee surgery. So you'll see a different walking to him next year. He will be back in himself, and I would predict he'll be the front runner for the MVP.
Front runner?
Yep.
Well, he's the back runner for this year's, right?
Yeah, a little setback.
He had a little setback, you know, and it came down to.
He still got more touchdowns than Dak.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he missed all them games to start the season.
But he's 6-7, his team. Dak's 8-5, right? So, and it came down to a minute 39 left in regulation Sunday at Jerry World, and Doug Peterson, who wrote a book titled Fearless. I'm fearless. I go for broke.
Oh, you wanted to go for 2 points?
Well, dude, I didn't want him to. I just thought he would because that's what he's made of. But was he a little afraid of bounce it to him Wentz? Was he just a little? I'm asking you. I don't know because I was shocked he didn't go for 2. I thought they had the momentum. I thought they had the edge. I thought you run something. You pull out your bag of tricks. You run your Philly special that you've created for this year, and you walk home with the win, right? And instead, no.
Well, yeah, it's easy to say that now because they sacked the Cowboys on 3rd down and the time ran out. And so it's easy to say that now. But who knows if the game turns out differently. Like, well, yeah, I mean, I probably would have went for it too. I'd have rolled the dice.
Yep.
That's how I am. Yep.
So is he going to write a sequel to that book and called it Fearful? Is that what?
Okay, Skip.
Yeah.
Look.
I don't know.
He had an off year.
Yeah.
So in between, he took some time off. He'll write another book next year when he's in Miami at the Super Bowl that we'll be covering.
That's our Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So you're saying Philly will? Is this your prediction?
There's a good chance. I'm going to see
Good
how
chance?
walk it to him.
We'll see how bounce it to him comes out of the offseason?
Oh, he'll be 35 touchdowns
Yeah.
next year.
Is it possible?
I'll put 3 cases of due right now. Walk it to him will have at least 35 passing touchdowns next year.
3 cases.
You're so far behind it. It's like
No, I'm about to pay these off.
Devalued now.
I know. I'm going to pay out 10 cases and we're going to be clear. Wipe the deck clean.
They have 35 touchdown passes?
35 or more.
What's he got now, 21?
Yep.
35 or more for 3 cases. I'll do it. Futures bet.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Okay.
I'm writing it
35
down.
or more because
What are you doing over there? Origami?
Yeah, because I already know. I already know, Skip, because that knee going to be 2 years removed from that surgery. He's going to be stronger.
Wouldn't it be funny if Nick Foles were the starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles next
Nick
year?
Foles probably won't even be on the roster next year.
Well, I don't know. Maybe that's to be determined right now. Maybe they see what happens at Rams, then they got the Texans at home, then they got Washington.
Skip,
right?
you and I both know Nick Foles is probably, there's a 95% chance he's not going to be on that roster because I believe he wants to go start somewhere. He believes he can start.
Well, I have never quite believed in Carson Wentz. I told you that from the start. I'm not
But you
saying
believe
he's
in
bad.
Dak.
Yeah, I do. Intangibles, big time, big play, playmaking. I'll take
That's
Dak.
what walk it to him, Hank.
Leadership. I'll
Because
take
think about it, Skip. We didn't see him run this year like he ran last year. So mentally, he's not where he needs to be with that knee, but he'll be okay.
Hey, speaking of believing in things, does Steph Curry really think the moon landing was fake?
What?
Really? NASA's now getting involved. It's a whole ordeal. Don't miss it. We'll talk about it coming up.
No mercy.
Time now for our final topic of the day. Steph Curry made headlines earlier this week when he said he doesn't think man ever landed on the moon. Yeah, after those comments, NASA actually invited Steph on a tour of their facility to squash this theory, and people around the NBA have called out Steph. Shannon, how Kyrie Irving have had to make these comments about the Earth now? Are you surprised by the reaction? Everybody calling him out.
No, I'm not surprised. Because in today's time now, what we've seen is young people think if they didn't see it happen or it didn't happen while they were alive, it didn't happen. There are a lot of things that transpired in the world, Steph Curry, that didn't happen while you were alive or you didn't witness that actually happened. So I wish, and Steph Curry is smarter than this. If you want to put some conspiracy theories, hey, come on, Steph, be smarter than this. Why? I mean, you're a 2-time MVP, you won 3 of the last 4 championships. That doesn't garner you enough attention.
Right.
You want to say something so asinine, so preposterous, so ludicrous, and garner attention for that? Come on, Steph, you're better than that.
Lame.
So, to your point, Steph Curry is far more than just a basketball player. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's a bright young man with many other irons in the fire, but he is not a rocket scientist, right?
Right.
So why would NASA decide we have to try to prove Steph wrong by showing him how wrong he is? He's Steph Curry. It's not going to impact NASA. And I thought Daryl Morey put him in his place with that tweet about showing thousands and thousands of NASA employees who have kept their mouths shut for 49 years about this conspiracy theory. No, that didn't happen. So I'm just surprised NASA would stoop to saying, we've got to bring in Steph and show him he's wrong about his conspiracy theory. Really?
And it seems someone like of his stature, like, oh yeah, see, Steph said it must be true. Because why else would he say something like that?
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.